says she thinks I'm funny, think I might get lucky, spending too much money. She says she wants my necklace, put her on the guest list. Hope I don't regret this, hope I don't regret this. I'm feeling hella reckless, cashing all my checks, rich hickeys on my neck, shit. She's on the offensive, I do not know my set list. Still I'm gonna get lit, yeah I have a death wish. Live until I'm breathless, I'ma stay progressive. She gon' stay obsessive, life is so expensive. Do everything excessive, I think my brain's defective, yeah. Can't think when she's aggressive, yeah. She snuck into my section, yeah. You think I'd learn my lesson, yeah. And we ain't getting no sleep. These girls don't even know me. Like Drake, I'm getting trophies. You want it, girl, then show me, yeah. And we ain't getting no sleep. These girls don't even know me. Like Drake, I'm getting trophies. You want it, girl, then show me. Cause we ain't getting no sleep, yeah. No, we ain't getting no sleep, yeah. She's sitting up in the front of the class, using that ass, she gonna pass. Keeping her pad and her pen in her lap. She been so bad with the men in her past. Now she just want the professor so bad. I'll give her lessons that she never had, like taking a freshman and teaching her math. I'll keep her guessing until she a grad. She always leaves them guessing, they don't know what's next, man. Learned it from the best, man. She loving every lesson, with hands-on sessions, points for attendance. She asks a lot of questions, I answer with my presence. I sit back while I'm texting, said she wants to get it in, said she'll bring her best friend. Know what happened next, man, you know what happened next, man. Treat her like a guest, man, rolling out the best, man. She had a confession, yeah. She wanna stay for a minute, she wanna play for a minute, she wanna slay for a minute, and now I'm all up in it. I'll be back in a minute, I'll be back in a minute, make a track in a minute, and now I'm all up in it. No sleep, these girls don't even know me. Like Drake, I'm getting trophies. You want it, girl, then show me, yeah. And we ain't getting no sleep. These girls don't even know me. Like Drake, I'm getting trophies. You want it, girl, then show me. Cause we ain't getting no sleep, yeah. No, we ain't getting no sleep, yeah.
I'm tryna make my mama proud, that's for sure. Landed in the city, but my heart is on the coast. I don't wanna look back what my life was like before. I just took a red-eye, penthouse, top floor. In the stew, I got a spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew this. Tryna turn them Bordens into Benjis, needing blue strips.
Walking on the floor of this site, no one protects me. Wanna show shawty my heart, she wanna text me. All this love I felt was a curse, I wanna XD. Going crazy, all of my nerves, who does to check me? All this fun, baby, why you gotta leave me on? Had to drop a bag on her hoe when she gone. But I'm running with my clique, yeah, they got me till I fall. Come playing it for bags, worth more than your love, yeah, yeah. Feel my moment, yeah, yeah. I'm the chosen, yeah, yeah. I'm the one inside.
In the stew, I got a spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew this. Tryna turn them Bordens into Benjis, needing blue strips. Oh,
Henny got me wasted. You done cut the yola, I can taste it. Biting on my swag, you niggas pussy tryna trace it. I don't need your love, I took a perk and I replaced it. I'ma keep on going till my mama said I made it. Black and yellow, white, I got these different races. Did my dirt, I had a mask, I'm moving faceless. I got 12 plotting on me, but no cases. Running from my demons, lacing on my A6. I don't do that fake shit, nah. The way they treat me, they act like I'm feeling them. So I got a script, I was just trying to feel something. Now I'm alone, you don't care, and
in
I
the stew,
feel
I got a
numb.
spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew
You said some things you didn't mean. I'm sure I did that too.
Oh, baby.
Egos clashing, dreams crashing. Whatever happened to me and you? From lovers to strangers, when everything changes, when we tear out the pages and only one word is left. Please let's just be quiet until the next riot. Just give us some time for the wounds to heal. What is broken is broken. Let's just leave it for now. We need some perspective just to understand how. What is broken for now. What is broken for now. I think we both need to grow so that we need not to know. Maybe doubt, maybe ask, maybe understand at last. From knowing to asking, from tearing to building, from thinking to feeling, from hurting to healing. Please let's just be quiet and let the silence speak. Just give us some time for the wounds to heal. What is broken is broken. Let's just leave it for now. We need some perspective just to understand how. What is broken for now. But maybe tomorrow we will know how. Yes, maybe tomorrow we will know how. Oh, maybe tomorrow we will know how.
We aren't better because we want to be. Because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. All the do-gooders in the world, whether they're doing good for others or doing it for themselves, are troublemakers. We white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, British, German, American, have been on a rampage for the past 100 or more years to improve the world. We have given the benefits of our culture, our religion, our technology to everybody. And we have insisted that they receive the benefits of our culture, even our political style, our democracy. You had better be Democrat, or we'll shoot you. And having conferred these blessings all over the place, we wonder why everybody hates us. Because sometimes doing good to others, and even doing good to oneself, is an amazing respect, there is always more violence, more bloodshed, more trouble. Diabolical things are done in the name of righteousness. We don't change. We're doing the same thing today, but under different names. We can look back at those people and see how evil that was, but we can't see it in ourselves. So therefore, beware of virtue. We aren't better because we want to be. Because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because all the do-gooders in the world, whether they're doing good for others or doing it for themselves, are troublemakers. Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, said, the highest virtue is not virtue, and therefore really is virtue. But inferior virtue cannot let go of being virtue, and therefore is not virtue. All the do-gooders in the world, whether they're doing good for others or doing it for themselves, are troublemakers. We aren't better because we want to be.
Dojo, not again.
I'm trying to make my mama proud, that's for sure. Landed in the city, but my heart is on the coast. I don't wanna look back what my life was like before. I just took a red-eye penthouse, top floor. In the stew, I got a spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew this. Trying to turn them boardings into benches, needing blue strips. Oh.
Walking on the floor of this site, no one protects me. Wanna show shawty my heart, she wanna text me. All this love I felt was a curse, I wanna exit. Going crazy, all of my nerves, who does to check me? All this fun, baby, why you gotta leave me on? Had to drop a bag on her when she gone. But I'm running with one click, yeah, they got me till I fall. Complaining for bags worth more than your love. Yeah, yeah. Feel my moment, yeah, yeah. I'm the chosen, yeah, yeah. I'm the one inside.
In the stew, I got a spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew this. Trying to turn them boardings into benches, needing blue strips. Oh,
Henny got me wasted. You done cut the yola, I can taste it. Biting on my swag, you niggas pussy tryna trace it. I don't need your love, I took a perk and I replaced it. I'ma keep on going till my mama said I made it. Black and yellow, white, I got thotties, different races. Did my dirt, I had a mask, I'm moving faceless. I got 12 plotting on me, but no cases. Running from my demons, lacing on my A6. I don't do that fake shit, nah. The way they treat me, they act like I'm feeling them. So I got a script, I was just trying to feel something. Now I'm alone, you don't care, and
in
I
the stew,
feel
I got a
numb.
spazzo. Back up in my bag, get the rackets and I cash out. I've been running laps, I don't got time to relax now. I just took a chance, wasn't looking for no handouts. Oh, they like proud of how we do this. I've been with my brothers in the hills, we going stupid. I can't stop, I've been different, always knew this. Trying to turn them boardings into benches, needing blue strips. Oh.
We aren't better because we want to be. Because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. All the do-gooders in the world, whether they're doing good for others or doing it for themselves, are troublemakers. We white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, British, German, American, have been on a rampage for the past 100 or more years to improve the world. We have given the benefits of our culture, our religion, our technology to everybody. And we have insisted that they receive the benefits of our culture, even our political style, our democracy. You had better be Democrat, or we'll shoot you. more trouble. Diabolical things are done in the name of righteousness. We don't change.
Hi. Hello.
Same thing today.
Happy Friday. What's up, Internet? How's it going out there? I hope you're all doing well and good. You're having a good day. Congratulations to all the Monday to Friday. Shout out. Shout out to you. I'm doing pretty well. Doing all right. I'm almost through all of the Andrew Tate clips editing. Looking forward to not editing his face, for a while, at least. One of the ones I just posted, he's straight up just saying, like, oh yeah, no, tobacco is good for you, actually. It's, great for your testosterone. And, like, I went on, like, a fucking, like, a 3-hour deep dive. Does nicotine increase your testosterone? Just deep in the scientific literature. It kind of is. Technically, there's a lot of studies that show that it increases your serum levels. But the free testosterone is not bioavailable testosterone. So your endocrine system is producing the testosterone, but it's not bioavailable, so it's not like doing all the things that testosterone should do. And if anything, it's just gonna mask if you have any like deficiency in T. So you could just like have predictors for heart disease and not know it. That's the only studies I found. So gotta love all the work and effort it takes to refute disinformation. It's so fun for me. It's cool how Tate can just say things and millions of people believe it, but I have to come with multiple fucking meta-analyses and shit, like, it's so much work. Why does it have to be like that? Like, I'm hoping, like, most people won't listen to that. I know, the younger generations are smoking less. I don't know about, like, the vaping, though. It's such a grug thing, like, oh yeah, nicotine, it increases your testosterone, so that's good, right? Always more testosterone, good, right? No, bro, that's why you're fucking bald. Actually. Probably all the testosterone you're taking. You can have too much. And, like, I don't know. Even if it did increase your testosterone, like, that's not good for you. Like, at what cost? You know? Fucking Andrew Tate. So annoying. Hi, Joey. Sorry, I'm just finishing, some makeup here. Ranting about Andrew Tate. Man can literally just say, like, oh yeah, nicotine's great for you. I like how it sets my blood on fire. Like, yeah, bro, that's cancer. Like how the cancer feels in my veins. Makes me feel like a man. And everyone, it just claps. Like, and Tucker Carlson even was like, yeah, I also love, cigars. I love them. They must be good for me because I love them. Like, look, I smoke. I have smoked for like too long. But like I'm not out here like promoting the benefits of smoking cigarettes. Like that's just irresponsible at this point. That interview is whack. It's so fucking whack. And like they'll say that he's living rent free in my head, and like, is that even wrong? He kind of is. Kind of is. I was gonna tweet something like, don't fight the Andrew Tate fans in your on the internet. Just don't. It's not worth it. It's genuinely not worth your energy. What you should do is kill the Andrew Tate in your mind. I have like a super compilation of Tucker just laughing like a fucking maniac. Fucking absolute psychopath. And I posted it and someone was like, "Oh, are you scared of him?" I'm like, "Dude, no." I mean, I'm kind of scared he's gonna like do like a family annihilation event or something. But no, not personally. It's just I don't know, kind of embarrassing. If anything. I'm embarrassed for him. I think he needs therapy. Affected the minds of so many young men and makes me so sad. Dude, yeah, like I genuinely don't know what to do. Like I thought I could reach out to them, like it's way too late. It's just way too late. Oh my god. There's one dude who like comments on all my Andrew Tate shit, like Andrew W Tate. And he like came in here and I had to ban him in like an hour for anti-Semitism. Like I just, what do you even do? Education. Good for you. Bless your heart. Education's so fucked. Like, how the fuck do we have $1 trillion for defense, but not, like, money for school books and shit? Oh, thank you. I saw this, I saw a picture of Dylan Mulvaney with this makeup look, and it was, like, divine. I'm not, like, replicating it well, but I tried. But I also don't, like, have a whole makeup artist or anything. I have 2 10-year-old palettes. I mean, shit. The other one? I think I got that when I was, like, 13. Aware. That palette is 17 years old. That's, like, probably not good, huh? Wait a minute. It's, like, mostly gone. I can't believe it's taken me 17 years to finish this. There's, like, crushed blush. That's, like, probably also old. But, like, there's, like, 2 actual squares left. Please support the channel today so that I can get new makeup. Oh my god. What else? What else? Oh yeah, Steven Crowder was outed as being even creepier than we thought. Surprise, surprise. Hang up my shit till I'm 60, yeah. I don't even like thinking about that shit. I wanted to go back to school, but I'm like too afraid to rack up more debt. Shocked. A Republican is creepy? Flabbergasted. Yeah. Yeah, like we knew he was like harassing people at work, but he also like sent like dick pics and exchanged drugs at work. That was the thing. Fucking loser. Done drug a lot. Cool. Fun. I like rarely wear makeup, so every time I put mascara on, I'm like shocked how long my eyelashes are. Wow. Really like buried the plot there. Why aren't my eyelashes just a little bit darker? I don't have to do this shit. Okay. Okay, I think that's probably sufficient. Thank you for bearing with me. Is it in the closet or something? Oh, yeah. His, what did he call it? His bisexual Mr. Hyde. Which I don't think he realizes makes him Jekyll? Isn't Jekyll the crazy one? I don't remember. In any case, yeah. I would say deeply in the closet. IMO. Just my opinion. Hi, just the crazy one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Man, I feel like he could be cool. He could be like, I don't know. He at best maybe like a libertarian. He just wasn't so, you know, deep in the closet, hating himself and everything, thinking he had to, like, choose a good wife, or however he put that. Like, oh yeah, it's my fault we're getting divorced because I didn't choose right. Didn't choose a good woman. Some shit like that. Just the worst guy. One of the worst guys. Okay, so I wanted to see a few of the songs from last night's concert. I was like half listening But Caroline was fucking amazing. So I definitely want to like see hers again, at least, and a couple others.
This is the last song of the night. Before we do it, I want to say a big, big thank you to everyone who showed up and spent time to come here today and see some streamers pretend like we can sing. It's very kind of all of you to show up, including those of you in chat. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to all the streamers that showed up. I'm incredibly lucky to have all of you in my life.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. To Peach specifically. For those of you who don't know, every July I do a charity stream for my mom. Sorry.
I love you.
I still cry whenever I talk. It's stupid. She's dead, so she can't hear me. Anyway, I do a charity stream for my mom. I didn't tell any of my friends I was doing this because I didn't want you guys to only come because it's charity. I wanted you to come because I am charity. So I appreciate you all. However, big shout out to chat. We've raised $10,000 for Best Friends Society. Someone Cheryl dance as well.
Let's go. Oh yeah, I forgot it was a charity. There's no dono. Maybe closed.
My mom's favorite thing in the world was animals and bringing people together, and I've tried to do both of those things. So thank you guys. I can only do this because of all of you, and so thank you all for making all of my dreams come true, genuinely. So just this last song, it's a nice song, is my mom's favorite song. So we're just going to end the night in a nice cozy way. Feel free to sing along.
Oh.
Because I'll forget the words. I was cheated by you, and I think you know when. So I made up my mind, it must come to an end. Look at me now, will I ever? I don't know how, but I suddenly lose control. There's a fire within my soul. Just one look and I'll forget everything. One more look and I can hear another. Whoa, whoa, Mamma Mia, here I go again. Mama, how can I resist you? Mamma Mia, does it show again? Mama, just how much I missed you.
Okay, I couldn't find the dono link. I think it's probably already like done and everything, but you should follow Cutie for her future events.
If you haven't had a chance, don't forget to drop your Twitch Prime. Bye, guys.
Okay. This is Caroline. Yes.
I just want to
So fucking slay. I love Caroline. Queen. Oh my god. Mother.
say there's been a lot of boy love all over the internet. And I've had enough. This is for my ladies, for my pretty women out there. Men, we've had enough. We're done. But also, Austin, if I forget the word to you, I need you to jump in.
Oh, okay. I don't know the word.
This isn't about you, but I need you to jump in.
Wait, like up there? Okay.
Just from there, you know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Before she starts, I just have a complete side note. I have like a bunch of gray hairs, and they're also super fucking curly. Like, my hair is straight as hell. It doesn't hold a curl for my life. But the gray hair's very curly. What is that?
Pretty woman, walking down the street. Pretty woman, the kind I like to meet. Pretty woman, I don't believe you. You're not the truth. No one can look as good as you. Pretty woman, won't you pardon me? Pretty woman.
God, I love her. I would die for her.
I'm lonely just like me. You look good as can be. Pretty woman, stop a while. Pretty woman, stop a while. Pretty woman, give your smile to me. But also stop smiling. Pretty woman, yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty woman, look my way. Pretty woman, give your love to me. Oh, 'cause I need you. I'll treat you right. Come with me, baby. Be mine tonight. Don't walk on by, pretty woman. Don't make me cry, pretty woman. Don't walk away. Okay. If that's the way it must be, okay. I guess I'll go on home. It's late. There'll be tomorrow night. What do I see? She walking back to me. Yeah. She's walking back to me. Yeah. Oh, pretty woman.
Hey, yo. Sorry, I just have to.
Pretty woman.
Iconic. Fucking iconic. And also Will. Oh, picture is worth a million words. I swear to God. Oh, they're so fucking cute. Him, he's like, nice. Nice. Hey, yo.
I'm right about your ass. I missed your mouth for so long. I was like, wait a minute.
I thought we got was special.
That's so awkward.
Oh my God.
For all the ladies in my life.
Oh, what mic am I? Okay, I'm back over here. Wow, whoa, I didn't expect that. I'm sorry, Ludwig. She's not. She's, wow, whoa, okay. Calm down, everybody.
Why do I feel like she actually liked it?
Up next, with just as much tenacity, is Peach Jars. Singing Sweet Escape.
Oh my God, I love peach jars.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, where's the song, guys?
God, she's so hot.
If I could escape, I would, but first of all, let me say I must apologize for acting sick and treating you this way. So I've been acting like I'm with all the fortune, culture, and shut the refrigerator. Maybe that's the reason I've been acting so cold. If I could escape and recreate a place in my own world, and I could be your favorite girl forever, perfectly together. And tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet if I could escape to recreate a place in my
Bless her heart. But I can't listen to any more of that. Denims! That's my streamer!
So I just wanted to tell Twitch chat that streamers are done with your shit. And we're tired of the injustices upon us day in and day out. And it's time for you guys to feel our feelings. Okay? I need everyone to become an empath here. Whenever you're ready, TJ.
Okay, I was not expecting such a deep voice from Denims, but I'm so here for it. I'm living.
Sweet. All right, now for real, not to debate you. It was Average Jonas singing. Yeah, you can,
Chest.
Just.
You don't have that many lines, man. Well, I'm gonna kill it, so.
Okay, well. Start us off whenever you're ready.
All right, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1.
This is so good. I loved this. He's so flat, but that's like perfect. It's perfect for the song.
Well, hot and heavy pumpkin pie, chocolate candy, Jesus Christ. There ain't nothing please me more than you.
You wouldn't practice.
Well, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Oh, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you.
So cute.
I know this part.
When are you gonna whistle again?
I don't know. You guys want some whistling? I'll follow you into the park, through the jungle, through the dark. Girl, I never loved one like you.
Boats and waterfalls, alleyways and payphone calls. There ain't nothing there with you.
Hey, that's true! Until we think we'll die, barefoot on a summer night, never could be sweeter than you.
And in the streets we'll run free like it's only you and me.
Jeez, you're something to see. Oh, shit.
You're something to see. Oh, let me come home.
Home is wherever I'm with you. Oh, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Something up here,
This is where you go on sweets.
Hey guys, shout out to the Twitch chat at home. Big shout out to you guys. Shout out to the crowd here. Unbelievable performance on right now. Take me home. Honey, I'm coming home. Oh, this is the spoken
I
part.
feel good about it. That's it. That's it for our show. It's hard because I made someone else start it back up. It'd be hard. I don't know. I want to sing another song. What are we gonna practice? You know.
I practiced so
He
much.
did not. He doesn't.
Me and Squeaks practiced.
I feel like probably not, but you know, maybe he did.
All day.
They did not. All right, a lovely group performance of some hot, hot men. Austin, Blau, and TJ are singing My Girl.
Oh, wait, this was kind of cute too.
Hello, everybody.
I
How
love
we
this
doing?
song. Austin has a great voice.
All right. We just practiced this out in the courtyard here. So, how the hell do you lower this thing? Everybody's taller than me. Oh. You look great. Thank you very much. Wow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You look great.
We're the 3 T's.
Oh, yeah.
It's a top, a twink, and the triple threat.
I'm the top for the record.
Yeah.
Classic.
I think I fucked the mic. I think I fucked the mic up. Cutie, can you help me with this thing? Or are you just supposed to hold it?
No.
He breaks every single one.
Yeah. I think it's going to be hot up here, so. All right.
Well, I just want to spit
Okay. Yeah. We choreographed that. It didn't really work out.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sorry, I just glanced over and saw this shit. Bro bought a fucking notepad to a Barbie movie. My producers dragged me along to see Barbie, and it was one of the most woke movies I have ever seen. My full review of this flaming garbage heap of a film will be coming out on my YouTube channel tomorrow. Great. Thanks for your very important, meaningful commentary on the Barbie film. Thank you.
Up next, this was...
all right, this is My Girl. Who knows My Girl? Originally sang by the Temptations. We're going to try to do it just about as, maybe 5% as good as they did it.
Yep.
All right, and I think it'd be a success. Let me just make sure I know the lyrics. Just give them a little riff. Yeah. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you'd say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, talking about my girl. I've got so much leaving me. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the trees. Well, I guess you'd say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, talking about my girl. All right, DJ. Okay.
Nice. Keep going, yeah.
Wait a second.
Did we riff here?
All right, now we just talk here. You know, I love girls. I'm thinking of a girl right now, I tell you. She's all mine. She's all mine. I don't need no fortune thing. I got all the riches, baby.
So cute. Precious.
Will's solo, but then him
This is the last one.
and Sear.
It's not gonna be a solo. Sears is changing.
It's still gonna be a solo. Oh, he has kicked Sear out of the band. Will Neff is here singing.
Full disclosure, I can't sing. So, like, guys, I need you to fuck it up. I need you to fuck it up. And I definitely need you to fuck it up.
I'll do my best. This is a song for the ladies. But fellas, listen carefully. You don't always have to fuck her hard. In fact, sometimes that's not right to do. Sometimes you gotta make some love. Fucking give us some smooth to do. Sometimes you got to squeeze. Sometimes you got to say please. Sometimes you got to say, hey, I'm gonna fuck you sweetly. I'm gonna ball you sweetly. I'm gonna ball you discreetly. I'm gonna fuck you completely. Hey, and then you said, hey, I brought you flowers. But then she's like, wait a minute, Sally. I think I got something in my teeth. Could you get it out for me? That's fucking teamwork. What's your favorite position? That's cool with me, it's not my favorite, but I'll do it for you. What's your favorite dish? I'm not gonna cook it, but I'll order it from Zanzibar. And then I'll fucking love you completely. And then I'll fucking love you discreetly. And then I'll fucking love you completely. But then I'm gonna I've never sung that song before in my life. It's my first time.
Amazing. Fantastic. He didn't care about the kids. Kids, we don't have any kids here. We're fine. Up next, Ludwig's making a bit of an audible. And he's... What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Ignore me, I'm just being silly.
Well, you're next.
Oh,
and
fuck. What great timing.
He's singing Hey There, Delilah.
Yeah.
Is TJ playing it now?
No, I have Squeaks accompanying me.
Oh, okay. Andrew, skip his track, and we have a guitar now.
Keep the track, please. Keep the track.
This is definitely Squeaks playing, for real. Okay.
No, it is. It is.
What are you finding out?
Yeah. It's not about you too.
Don't call me out, Rick. Jeez.
No, you're right. You're really well suited. Oh, shit.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty, yes you do. Times Square can shine as bright as you, I swear it's true. Hey there, Delilah, don't you worry about the distance, I'm right there if you get lonely. Give this song another listen, close your eyes, close your eyes. Listen to my voice, it's my disguise, I'm by your side. Your eyes are so open. Whoa, it's what you do to me.
Wow, Sweets, you are so good at the guitar. I didn't know that. That was amazing. Wow. All right. Well, up next, I just looked at it. Oh my goodness gracious. Up next is, oh my God, he's gonna be so mad at me. Up next is Mr. Show.
Thank you. How are we doing? All right, okay. All right. Oh, it's hot in here. Hold on just a minute. You can't keep getting away with it. Oh, sorry, Christian. Give me that.
Daddy.
All right, so also didn't practice this one. How do you work these?
Yeah, I got it. He breaks everything.
Look, I'll be honest. I think it's a little bit of a. I think they did something to the microphones before. Shit. I'm not that tall. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think it's a conspiracy. I don't think that I break any microphones. So, give it up for TJ. He's going to be my accompaniment today. So, this evening, I'm going to take you back to a time when men were men. Yeah! I got a weird look over here. From the come on, back when America was great. Right? Back in the 60s, the 50s, right? America was great, right? Especially for people like me. All right. Can we slow it down a little bit? Or do you like that pace?
This concert was so good. I guess we should probably get back to it. Start it. I mean, I guess we never really started. All right, we got the Kris Tyson interview with Anthony Padilla.
I was so scared of saying I'm a woman and then instantly hearing, no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my head, I fought with that every day.
Aware.
Oh, Kris.
Hello, Anthony.
You have been a part of Mr. Beast's videos since the inception, pretty much?
Basically, I was there when he created the channel. I was his first subscriber.
Were you also his bestie?
Bestie, yeah. We grew up, we sat at the same lunch table. We were kind of the only kids who talked about YouTube and video games.
So a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, the nerds. But so we would hang out afterwards, film videos together, and we just fell in love with doing it.
Yeah, I feel like the earliest videos you guys made really were capturing that friendship.
It was just us just doing whatever we could think of because there was no rules back then. There was no algorithm or anything. It was just whatever you could film, put it on YouTube.
And the videos have blown up to the point where now they are consistently getting over 100 million views each.
It's crazy.
And which is just, I can't even fathom how many people that looks like.
I can't either.
And you are in almost every video.
Yeah.
You kind of became Kris, the guy from Mr. Beast.
Exactly. It was actually, for the longest time, my Twitter bio was the guy in Mr. Beast videos. And then about a year and a half ago, it turned into sometimes I'm in Mr. Beast videos.
Oh, so the guy part was removed?
It was, yeah, that was removed a long time ago.
Was that anticipating?
Yeah, that was...
Wanting to detach from that identity?
Yeah, so for me, in my head, I was like, oh, people are going to instantly start asking questions if I did that. Because, when you're trans, you think everybody knows you're trans.
Yeah, it's like when you're high.
Yeah, exactly like it. But so I took it out and I was like, oh no, people are gonna know, Nobody ever said anything. So I was like, that was my first step, and I was like, okay, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, I feel like about maybe 6 months to a year ago, I started to see a change in your appearance.
Yes.
You started to look a little bit less masculine, a little bit less beardy.
Yeah.
At the exact same time, you looked like you were glowing, like you were more excited, like your posture was better, like you were excited about
happy.
life. Yeah, it was weird. I didn't realize how unhappy you looked beforehand.
Yeah.
Looking up old pictures of you, I searched old pictures of you, and you could see a dramatic shift.
But it wasn't a real smile. It was a performance smile. I mean, because, was I sad every single day during those times?
Dude, her makeup looks so good.
No, but, in the back of my head, it was something I constantly felt like I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't being true to the people who are fans of me because I was hiding my true self from them. And the thing that was really keeping me for so long away from like who I truly am is how people would react. I was so scared of like, I'm from a small town in a conservative area. So when I was younger, I was like, this little bubble is my entire world. How will they react? Then I got a little older. I was like, maybe one day. And then I got famous and my bubble went from this small little town to hundreds of millions of people.
You've had a lot of people speculating on your gender.
Yes.
You know, just you growing out your hair.
Yeah.
I mean, today you showed up fully presenting as a woman.
I did, because I am a woman.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, she, her.
You've never said that before, right?
I've never said that publicly, no. But I've been fully like confident in that decision for over a year now. My idea was to kind of play catch up with the internet in the way that I discover myself. Like you were talking about, 6, 7, 8 months ago, my hair started growing out, all those kind of things. I wasn't quite sure exactly who I was yet, but I knew I was not cisgender. So I needed the freedom to be able to express myself and be able to figure out who I was. And so for a while, I was trying gender fluid. I was like, what is making me feel like I'm bi-gender? What is tying me to this, masculinity? And really it was after a lot of talking with a therapist and a lot of like self reflection, I realized it was really just the societal pressure of, you're Kris from Mr. Beast. You're the guy that starts the fires. You're the guy that builds the stuff, And like my whole life, I've enjoyed doing those things, but I've never really felt like the guy.
Yeah, and that becomes so intrinsically connected with who you are that it felt like it was shattering everything.
Exactly. And I was scared that people would think that I'm magically going to become a different person. But for me, I have I'm very proud of who I was and how I've gotten here. It took me a long time to get here.
Yeah.
But I'm finally here, so I'm not ashamed of all of that or anything. I'm actually really proud of it.
There's been a huge reaction to this. Like people are like, their minds are blown that something like this happened.
I knew there was going to be a big reaction, but I thought it would stay like, like in that YouTube, everything.
It's like tabloid culture now.
Yeah.
It's like every single thing has some kind of headline about you and what it means and the effects on Mr. Beast and all these different things.
It was crazy. I was trying to take a break. I was like, okay, it's not affecting me too bad, but I don't need to consume all this media and attention of myself. I'll delete all my social media. And then I get on Google and I go to open a new tab, and Google will recommend me articles about myself.
Like, you love Mr. Beast and Kris Tyson. And here's this thing about people hating you.
Please stop. I don't want to know about it.
Yeah. So you're just constantly being fed articles with headlines that are just blatantly wrong, right? They're lies.
And not only, it's like, it wasn't all hate and it wasn't all support. It was from both sides, but there was also like a lot of people just, they don't really know how to talk about trans people. So instantly they're like, Kris Tyson comes out as a trans woman, good for them. And I'm like,
even though you just said HRT,
yeah,
right?
I'm like, no, I didn't yet.
Yeah. Yet. Until today.
Yeah, until today. With Anthony.
I mean, I feel like we should take a moment on that. Like, how does that feel, publicly saying in front of cameras that you are a woman?
For the longest time, to even say it to some of the closest friends, it would make me like, my hands shake to say it. I would get so nervous. But now I can say I'm a woman. I'm happy to say I'm a woman. It's something that's honestly so freeing. And I think that is part of what the HRT did for me, was being able to accept myself and being able to look in the mirror and say, yes, you are a woman.
Every single person has something about themselves that they kind of want to be more of.
Yeah.
And then
there's a little insecure about.
Yeah, even if it is just lacking confidence.
Yeah.
Even if it's just, I want to be a little bit more confident in myself.
Yeah.
Here you are in front of hundreds of millions of people who have been criticizing you for every single reason in the book, and you're focusing on the way that you feel when you are most true to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if your way to confidence is to wear a dress, wear a dress. If your way to confidence is to get so swole you look like a bodybuilder, do that.
Is that what you're talking about, Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy is getting really swole, isn't he?
Yeah, he is pumping, man.
You see his Twitter feed?
He is jacked.
He is jacked.
He's getting there, man.
Came out of nowhere until I get my hands on him.
Oh,
and I Kris effect him.
Watch out, the Kris effect. Isn't that wild that people say there's the Kris effect, the Carl effect? Like one person can change or like infect the other brains of the other friends.
I mean, I've always
so
joked
crazy.
that there, and I hate that people will clip it, but there is a smidgen of truth to it. Because Carl came down to North Carolina, small town, and he had bright pink hair.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, how do you have the confidence to like go to the grocery store and not feel like every single person is staring at you? And he's like, I don't care. And I was like, what?
What? You can not care what others think?
You can just not care?
Right.
Since when? I didn't get the update.
You know, there is a little bit of truth to the idea that a friend can come into a circle and they can show you what confidence looks like.
Yeah, they can show you what true confidence is. Because for a while, like I was like, yeah, I guess I'm confident, but it was all fake. It wasn't all real. And then I saw somebody come in and be themselves, and I was like, I want that. I want to be myself. And even though like I saw people make fun of Carl because of his hair, he would just shrug it off. I was like, I can do that. Maybe. Give it a couple of years.
You hear that, Carl? You inspired someone.
You did it.
You mentioned taking hormones, and you mentioned that it saved your life.
Yes. For so long, every day, I would go to bed and I would have dreams, vivid dreams I was a woman, like my whole life. And I would wake up in the morning and it was just like getting ripped out of a reality that I didn't want to be taken out of.
So it was like the dream was the reality.
Yeah. There was times where I would just lay in bed all day and just sleep because it was more fun to do that or more enjoyable.
So sad. I haven't had that because of like gender dysphoria, but I've definitely been in that place where I just want to be asleep because like dreaming is better than being awake. I feel that.
To me to do that because the real world, I didn't feel connected to it. I've really never felt connected to my body until I started taking HRT, and like I was amazed. Like after 2-3 weeks, I just started having a mental clarity that it felt like a fog that had been around me just went away, and I could see things clearly. I could feel confident in who I was. I knew who I was finally, surely, truly, without a shadow of a doubt. And that is what really saved my life, because for the longest time, you know, like in 2017, 2018, I started gaining weight. I got really depressed because I pretty much thought that there was no way I was going to be able to transition ever, and I was just going to have to keep marching forward in a life I didn't want to live. And I was just gonna have to keep doing that until I couldn't do it anymore.
What was the internal battle like?
The thing I really felt hatred towards was myself for not understanding myself. Also, internalized transphobia just made me feel, you know, there's not a lot of trans people in general, but there's also not a lot of trans people in my area. So the only exposure I had to trans people and trans issues were from, you know, the other end of the spectrum. And so I started to hate myself. I was like, oh, I'm pretending, I'm lying. And it took me so many years of, I ran away. I pretended it didn't exist. Multiple times I threw away every single pair of clothes I ever owned. I went to conversion therapy.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Like you really did not want to be what you felt at your core was your true self.
I thought it was a curse for all of my life, and it wasn't until I started taking HRT that I was like, this is not a curse, it's a blessing. Like I can finally be myself.
Or did you have a moment when you first realized that the way that you identify with your gender was different than what was expected of you?
I was 6 years old. My sisters went to camp. My parents were in the living room. I told my parents that I was going to build a popsicle stick airplane in my room. And then I went to my sister's room and went in their closet and grabbed as much stuff as I can. And I locked my door and I turned on Arthur. And it was the episode where there was ballerinas, and I just pretended to be a ballerina and danced around my room. And from that moment on, I was like, I don't know what this is, but I know I need to hide it, because I don't think the people, I don't remember exactly what made me hide it at such a young age, but I think it was just like, you know, growing up in that area, going to, you know, a very like very, very religious. Well, all churches are religious, but this one was extra religious.
Super
religious.
Religious.
Extra religious.
XXL?
Yeah. It was the premium.
Manga S. That's not what you want. That's not what you want. You don't want the religion plus.
And because like the biggest thing is for
hiccups.
me, I was such a forward-facing person that any kind of changes were instantly going to drum up questions. And so like for me, that's why I was so glad that even though I had during this time when I put out that I was on HRT, I was very sure I was a trans woman. I was not ready to come publicly out yet. So I was very happy that like people were encompassing me into the gender fluid, because that is what I had identified as a while, and that gave me that ability to dress more feminine and people not be like, are you a girl, or what's your gender,
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like old Kris is dead?
Gone.
Dead, buried, hatchet, all of it
gone.
I mean, you still have the reminders through the videos that will be permanently online for the rest of eternity.
That's what I say to people who are like, but I miss the old Kris and I looked up to you. Hey, go watch the videos. They'll be there forever.
Was it more difficult for you to come out to yourself or to others?
Myself. Far more. Once I came out to myself, I came out to myself with my therapist. And it took like 3 therapy sessions where I was like, I've known this for a long time. I'm pretty sure. And then I was, you know, I know and then I was like, I am a woman. And it was hard for me to say that because I was so scared of saying I am a woman and then instantly hearing, no, you're not. Because in my head, I fought with that every day.
That's the conversation you were having with yourself.
There was a voice in the back of my head that just hated me. Everything I did hated me. And it wasn't until like I started accepting myself and being kind to others and like just listening to what my body wanted. Like that's when that voice started going away. Started taking HRT. Haven't heard from that voice in a very long time.
Where do you think that part of you has gone?
I hope it's locked away.
Do you think it's disappeared entirely?
That hurts. That little piece of me.
You must feel like you have so much more like access to your whole self without that part of you shutting you down constantly.
I literally had people within the first like couple of months of like me coming out to like private like friends and like my therapist starting HRT, they were like, you've just been talking so much more and you just seem so much more present in the conversation. And I was noticing that myself too, because like I would get done with conversations and be like, why does my jaw hurt so bad?
Oh, I was talking and smiling?
I was talking and smiling. I haven't done that in a while.
I mean, even now, I feel like people who have watched you for a long time will see that change in you wanting to express your thoughts, wanting to express your emotions.
It doesn't matter now if I want to express them or not. They just freely come out of me because I don't suppress them anymore. And that is what's truly the best part of it, is that I can just like, what comes out of my mouth is me now. And it's nobody else influencing me. It's nobody telling me I have to be this person. It's me coming out.
Do you remember the first time that you looked at yourself and you were like, that is me, I'm not ashamed of that anymore?
I did. I was actually heading to the studio to go film, and I was driving my car and I had something in my eye and I pulled down my mirror and I just looked at myself, and for the first time it like hit me that I was like, I'm looking like myself, and I just started crying while driving and I had to pull over.
Yeah, you're like, this looks like how I feel, how I feel in my dreams.
Yeah, and I've had so many moments leading up to that, like even when I went dress shopping today, I accidentally cried a little bit because I put on this dress and I was like, oh my God, I love this.
I feel like, you know, whether anyone watching is trans or not, like it's such a relatable feeling to want to be a truer version of yourself and
Yeah.
to run away from that for a certain amount of time for any reason.
Yeah.
How does it feel, you know, like you're constantly finding all these things that make you feel more and more true to yourself.
I've always been myself. I'm now taking steps to make sure I'm the best and happiest version, because there was a point in my life where, and a lot of people thought that was the best version of me because that's the only thing they had ever seen, Kris from Mr. Beast. But I was very unhappy and I was tired and I was miserable. And now I'm like, I wake up every day and I'm like, what are we doing today? I wake up at 7:30. I used to wake up at 11:30 every single day.
Do you wake up with excitement?
I wake up with excitement. I'm like, what are we doing today? What's going on?
Like you get to live life
yeah,
now.
another day of being trans. That for me, it's like the best thing.
Why do you think the news of you taking HRT and you looking more feminine, why do you think it went so viral?
Because it's a really hot button issue right now. There's a lot of people putting in their 2 cents about it. And then I think what really made a lot of people focus on it was that
everyone has a fucking opinion, even though it's not really a matter of fucking opinion.
I'm just living my life. I'm not saying anything or doing anything. I'm just, hey, I'm on HRT. I'm a lot happier now. And I think that, in my opinion, a lot of people were like, no, we can't have somebody this successful and this happy being on HRT. It's bad optics. So, I mean, if that's the reason, maybe it was just general transphobia. Maybe they just don't like me.
Oh.
Maybe they're not Kris fans. They might be big Nolan fans.
So you're not taking it too personally though?
Nah.
Taking it in stride. Good for her.
I know that at the end of the day, even the people that are writing these crazy articles about me are probably just, normal people that are going home to see their wife and kids or whatever. They're doing their jobs. I'm doing my job. But that's why I wanted to come to your show, to be able to get a hold of my narrative again.
Right, because you lost control of that narrative.
Complete control.
Everyone had an opinion that had nothing to do with what your actual thoughts were.
I know. Apparently, I sued people. I didn't.
Where did that come from?
Somebody made a joke and they were like, they faked a DM and they were like, Kris is suing me. And then I quote tweeted it and I was
oh my God.
You better be ready. This is my lawyer. And it was a picture
Classic.
of Jimmy with sideways sunglasses. And people took that as serious.
There's real life consequences
In a way.
to false things being made up about you.
Yeah.
Then you have people making YouTube videos saying that your decision to be yourself and to openly be yourself is destroying Mr. Beast and it's gonna mess up the business and you should have thought about that.
I should have thought about that. That's all.
How dare you ruin the business by being your true self?
How dare you exist? It was kind of weird to see people be like, oh, now Jimmy's put in between a rock and a hard place where he obviously doesn't want to support Kris, but the left would be so mad if he didn't. And I'm like, all these speculation, all these crazy things. I told Jimmy 7 years ago, I walked out of my bedroom. It was late. I walked out and it was kind of one of those, oop. And then he was like, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to talk about it.
Wait, what was it that gave it away?
Was fully dressed up.
Oh, so you were dressing up as a woman long before.
I've been dressing up as a woman since I was 6 years old.
Oh.
I guess dressing up as
Oh, it makes me so sad. Oh. I mean, I'm glad she's out now, but it's a long time to be just having to hide yourself.
Girl, now I dress up as a woman.
Yes, but you walked out, Jimmy sees you.
Yes.
Dressed up as a woman.
Yes.
And
he goes, we can talk about this if you want. And I was like, no. And we didn't.
Did you turn around and go into your room?
I did. And we didn't talk about it. Jimmy is really good about, if you don't want him to bring something up, he'll never mention it ever again. But it was about 3 years ago. We were all hanging out and we were having a good time.
You're a good friend.
On the channel, we like to say we're having some apple juice, just drinking some good apple juice.
Drinking some apple juice.
And there was one moment I was sitting around all the guys and I had just been really thinking all that day about my gender and everything, and combined with the apple juice, I just blurted out to them, I don't want to be a man anymore.
Just out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere in front of all of them, and then started crying. And the support I got from them in that moment was like, that's when I knew I was like, okay, like I have my friends back, like everybody else. Like that's all I need.
You had the support from your core group.
Yeah. They're really like my family.
Do you remember just like what it felt like to have that out there?
To feel like I'm lying to like my best friends. We know everything about each other. Like, and I'm like, this is a huge part of me and I want to tell them, but I'm even so scared to tell them. Like, even when I used to try to form the words, I would just lock up and couldn't talk about it because I was so terrified to like out myself.
Yeah, because there's so many things that you consider to be negative that would come out of that.
Yeah, and now I realize that was all internalized transphobia. My friends would have accepted me. I probably could have gotten through the process a little faster.
Yeah.
But everybody grows at their own pace and becomes themselves when they do.
I mean, you see all these comments on the internet, and no matter how many positive ones that are there, you're
just fly by.
The positive ones
don't exist.
But then the negative ones, I think it's because there's a little bit of fear attached to the implications or what else they might be thinking. Like those things sit with you, and you accidentally find thousands, or in your case, because you have hundreds of millions of people watching and judging and commenting on every single thing that you do, you're likely to see tens of thousands of comments.
Yeah, and sometimes the algorithm can just be a butt and just send you all the hates in one fell swoop. But also, it's like, you have to realize that when people are sending those messages, I mean, I was a crappy kid on the internet. I used to be a mean kid. People say those things because they're also struggling with things. My whole life, I was struggling with my identity, who I was. I hated myself. Like, so every time I see one of those like hate comments or like people saying mean things in my DMs, I'm like, I know that's probably somebody who's going through something, and it doesn't really bother me. I used to see people living the life I wanted to live, and I would get jealous and angry at them. And like they get to live this life and they get to be celebrated. And you know, like obviously you don't see the hate they get, but it's like they're not getting any hate and all this kind of stuff. And you get into that mindset, but then you realize, oh, that's just me just like pointing all that back at myself and using somebody else as a target.
Do you feel like after coming out and feeling like you can actually be your truest identity, in addition to not having to hide something about yourself, do you feel like you're more aware and present? Like, do you feel like instead of living like through with tunnel vision because you're blocking out all of this shit that's in your brain, do you feel like now you have access to more of you?
I do. I post way too much on the internet because I'm just so excited to authentically be myself and be like, this is me. Hey, everybody. The person you knew for a long time, that was like a facade, a fake version of me. This is the real me. I'm still the same person. I just look a little different.
I mean, yeah, you're caring more about things, it seems. You're caring about your fashion, your now makeup, your hair, you know, you're caring about your health, it seems. Like you just seem healthier all around.
Yeah. I'm drinking a lot more water too.
Oh, okay, that'll do it.
That's everything. That's the secret to life.
The secret to life is water?
Yeah.
Oh, and then I will poop more than once every 6 days?
Oh, you should definitely be doing that more.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. You changed the spelling of your name?
Yeah.
From Kris, CH to Kris to K?
With a K.
So just to feel a little bit more feminine about it?
I actually...
Yeah, I didn't know that until today. I like it.
I've always liked how it looked with a K.
It is cooler.
Apparently I didn't know this, and I'm probably going to crack a bunch of eggs in the audience.
Oh.
But if you have an online persona where you present as a different name and present as a female, that's just being trans online. You've been out as trans online. Like,
wait, in what way?
Like in the same way of like you've kind of came out, you haven't come out officially, but you came out in a space to where it was safe. People don't know who you actually are.
So you're like anonymously,
you're kind of anonymously coming out as trans.
So is the Kris with a K an online only
Yes.
name? Do you have a separate name that you're using that is more feminine in your private life?
I have a name that is my official name. I'm not like sheltering it. It's like not private, locked away.
But you're not making a huge announcement
Not
about
making a huge announcement about it. It's just for like friends and families and stuff like that. But Kris, K-R-I-S, is what you can call me on the internet.
Are you gonna get angry when people use CH?
I don't really care. I mean, you can. It'll be wrong.
Who cares?
So.
Right. Are you gonna feel like people are dead naming you, as they say?
I mean, like in a way, they're going to like try to use it to dead name me. But number one, I can't be audibly dead named, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty big clutch. Number two, I mean, like I said, I have no shame with like who I was. I think it's so cool and interesting that it's like I was Kris with.
Dude, I feel like every name should be androgynous for that reason. Only androgynous names going forward so that no one can ever be dead named ever again.
The CH, and then I put that to rest, and now I can finally be Kris with a K.
You have a permanent archive of who you were and your
Literally.
transitional period and who you are now.
Literally, it's kind of like the Mr. Beast channel was accidentally like my trans timeline.
It was a documentary about the transition, right?
You didn't know it.
Yeah.
I was using him.
So you've changed the way you present, you've changed the name and the things that you prefer people to call you, you've changed your pronouns.
Yeah.
Have you changed your voice? Because I know that that's something that trans people also work toward.
I am working on it. So currently I'm working with the Seattle Voice Labs. It's a Discord server where they offer free lessons, they offer paid lessons, but Claire, she is incredible. She's been teaching me, and she really pushed me to do a voice.
Like today?
Yeah.
She wanted you to do it.
She thinks I'm ready to do like do a sentence, to give it a little sneak peek. I could feel like myself by like presenting the way I wanted to, growing my hair out, but I would look back when because I'm a YouTuber, I get recorded a lot. I would look back and I would be like, that's me. And then my voice, I would open my mouth and I'd be like, that's not me.
Do you want to say a sentence, or do you want to talk us through the different types of things that go into the voice?
I'm gonna say a sentence, but I'll kind of also show you like the process I have to do.
Yeah, and I think this will be the first time many people watching this will have ever seen the thought process behind it.
So I'm in a newer stage. I've only been going for a little bit, so it's easier for me to find that space, that feminine voice, by doing a warm-up. It sounds goofy. Whenever I do it at home, I make sure all my doors are locked and nobody's home.
So now you're gonna do it on camera?
So now I'm gonna do it on camera.
Now there's millions of people watching.
I know, my voice instructor encouraged me. It won't sound perfect. It probably will get picked on a little bit, but that's kind of what I like doing, is showing people the like the rawness of it. You ready for the voice?
I'm ready, if you are.
Oh gosh, we might have to do a couple of takes.
That's fine, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here it goes.
Sure.
Hey, Anthony, congratulations on buying Smosh.
Thank you. That was good.
That's so
Thank you.
good.
The most interesting part about seeing that
Nailed
is it felt like there was like a sparkle in your eye. Something about it was like I could see this feeling of you feeling like yourself.
Yeah, and I really like showing the process of like how I get to there, because like I think for a lot of people, they don't want people to hear that process, and that's completely understandable. It's a very vulnerable space.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of work to even like get to yourself to the point where you can do that sometimes without feeling like, oh my god, like I don't want anybody to hear.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I get so nervous, like, trying to do any sort of, like, voice or anything, like, that's a lot. It's a lot. And really thought about, like, the whole process there.
Hear me, it'll never sound right, but I want people to hear that, because it's like, that shows you that it's like, people will say, oh, you're faking your voice. No, I just slid my voice into the right place. Basically, it's like as I get better with it, I won't have to basically push my voice into that place I want it to be.
You're training to get to the point where it feels natural.
It's a muscle, and like every muscle, the more you work it, The more you train it, it's going to break down, build back up, get stronger, and it's going to become muscle memory to do those things.
Right. What are you looking forward to most now that you have fully come out as your truest identity? You feel confident in yourself. What's next, and what are you looking forward to?
It really feels like, for the first time, like I can do anything now. I can be who I want to be. Like, I can create a channel if I want to. Ooh. I can write a book if I want to.
Yes.
I can maybe produce a film if I want to.
Are these hints?
I don't know. Maybe. No. But maybe in the future.
But you really do have endless possibilities.
Exactly, because I'm finally able to be myself, and that spills out into other areas in my life. So it's not that I'm just authentically trans now. I'm authentically Kris in every single way. I'm able to articulate my feelings. I'm able to talk about what I want. So I feel like the future's kind of whatever I want it to be right now.
Do you feel more creatively driven now?
I do. I'm really excited. I've never felt the motivation to get in front of cameras like I do now.
Congratulations on everything. And I think
That's wonderful. I'm so happy for her. Let's go.
that your story is incredibly inspiring, and I think you're going to change a lot of people's lives just by authentically being yourself in the face of hundreds of millions of opinions and thoughts.
Yeah, well, thank you, Anthony, and thank you for using your channel to give queer and trans people a safe place to talk about us and who we are, and just let us be ourselves. There's a lot of traditionally more feminine ways to speak. People used to tell me I did that a lot, and I got self-conscious about it, and I stopped.
Stop being yourself.
Stop it. Talk
Be
like a man.
more like men are.
Men talk.
Yes.
Straight.
Men talk straight.
Ooh.
Men talk slow. Men
Rug.
talk angry, or men talk okay.
Yeah.
No,
Those
that was even too feminine.
Yeah, that was a little bit too feminine.
Yeah, that
you
was.
were showing too much emotion.
Damn it!
Get out.
The only emotion you're allowed to show is anger.
Anger. That's the only emotion. And fear.
And fear? No. Real men don't get
That's
scared.
true. Yeah, real men don't.
Real men punch wall and break fist.
Real. Let's go. Dude, Eddie Burback is fucking insane. A legend. Wild for this. I worry for his health.
I think we made it to Margaritaville. I don't know about you.
So, you clicked on the video thinking, is this guy really gonna go to every Margaritaville in the country? Well, technically, that title is a lie. Because I'm going to every Margaritaville in the country and Canada! Margaritaville, a tropical beach-themed restaurant chain created by America's greatest singer-songwriter, James William Buffett, aka Jimmy Buffett. Now, if you don't know who Jimmy Buffett is, let me catch you up before we hit the road.
Hi, I'm Jimmy.
Jimmy Buffett is a multi-platinum artist who's been touring the world since the 1980s. But think of Jimmy less as a musician and more like royalty. Because this man has built an empire in the last few decades by not just writing tropical country-style songs, but by creating a world around his music. And no song has built that empire more than Margaritaville. Margaritaville is a simple tune created by Jimmy in the late 70s that then inspired the creation of his restaurant, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. As the business started to thrive, they made Margaritaville shirts, shot glasses, keychains, and other merch until they expanded to Margaritaville hotels and resorts across the globe. But the restaurant that started it all is the official Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. There are 22 locations in the United States and Canada, with one in development in Boston, Massachusetts. And we will be hitting every single one. Last year, Ted Nivison and I went to every single rainforest cafe in the country. There were 18 total locations, and it took us 3 weeks to do it. The trip also nearly drove me insane. So you must be thinking, what kind of moron would go on such a pointless road trip not enjoy it, and then decide just 1 year later to do another, even longer, pointless road trip. The night before we started our trip across the entire United States for 24 days, we decided to go to the first Margaritaville. Now, the closest one located to us is the one at City Walk at Universal Studios Hollywood. City Walk is just an outdoor mall in front of the theme park, but you might recognize it from Justin Bieber's famous music video, Baby. And I can't tell you what kind of honor it was to start this journey where Ludacris himself told us that when he was 13, he had his first love. As we headed toward the restaurant, I was getting increasingly nervous because this trip is even longer. So I was about to find out what I was dedicating a 12th of my year to. After finally arriving, we were greeted almost immediately by the Margaritaville sign. And I could not have guessed what was inside. Jimmy Buffett's likeness plastered across the entire restaurant. Jimmy's music was playing on the speakers. There was Jimmy-themed food, Jimmy drinks. There was a giant Jimmy Buffett's margarita blender. There were even screens playing Jimmy video at the table. It began to dawn on me that this restaurant wasn't named after just one song, Margaritaville, that Jimmy Buffett made. This entire restaurant was a cult dedicated to everything Jimmy Buffett. They even had my favorite Jimmy Buffett quote on the wall.
Yeah, I've been to a Margaritaville. It's very much like cult-like atmosphere.
Pour me something tall and strong. This door is to remain unlocked during business hours. As we were seated, we were given the absolute honor of sitting at the boat table. Now, the boat table was interesting because it's a table that looks like a boat. But finally, it was time for the moment of truth. The menu. I was about to find out what 22 meals of the next 24 days of my life would look like. And to my surprise, it actually wasn't that bad. On our last trip, I was shocked to find things like Mojo Bones, Boom Boom Sauce, Iggy's Piggy Sandwich, and more.
What?
But this menu looked pretty normal, other than the fact that the names of the items were themed to Jimmy Buffett songs that I didn't know. For my drink, I ordered the perfect margarita, and as somebody who loves margaritas, I feel like that name is a little too confident, and after tasting it, I was correct. Perfect margarita? Jimmy, I might want to call this the just okay margarita. Now that's a Buffett burn. The group got some onion rings as an appetizer, and as we waited for our entrees, we were just having a good time. I did notice that there was a stage in this restaurant. It looks like it's fully prepared for live music, but it was completely empty for us, so I'm kind of wondering what that's all about. For my entree, I decided to start my Margaritaville marathon with a cheeseburger in paradise, which I believe is Jimmy's second biggest song. The burger was exactly what you'd expect out of a chain restaurant. I also need to stress that we are not being paid by Margaritaville on this trip, so as this journey progresses, I will be criticizing Margaritaville the whole way. But Jimmy, if you're watching this, I do take bribes. So our first dinner experience was exactly what you'd expect out of a chain restaurant. The food and drinks were just okay, but it was a dinner with a bunch of friends where we were just having drinks and hanging out, so I had a blast. But that fun was cut short because it was time to say goodbye. Ted and I officially sealed our fate with a handshake because tomorrow we begin one of the most pointless journeys of our entire lives. So I woke up this morning with a stomach ache. I think it was almost definitely the Margaritaville food because I had nothing but a breakfast sandwich that morning and then the cheeseburger in paradise and 2 perfect margaritas. Completing this Margaritaville trip will mean that I've done 2 tours and I've already experienced my first casualty, my tummy. My tummy hurts. I have a tummy ache. I really hope my tummy doesn't hurt most days of the trip. No. My tummy hurts. You guys don't know how hard it is to be a YouTuber. So the plan for the first day was to drive from LA to Phoenix because the next Margaritaville on our trip
That sucks. Off to a bad start.
was the one in San Antonio, Texas. Now last year we took Ted's 2002 Toyota Tacoma across the country and it Ted is over there with the Tacoma as it gets loaded onto a tow truck. So this year, to avoid ruining Ted's car for good, we decided to rent a newer Tacoma. And I'll be honest, Ted was in denial quite a bit. It's not squeaking, it's fine.
I feel like I'm hearing a squeak right now. This is too clean.
The tires are fine.
I have ears like a dog, so maybe it might be dog whistle.
I think it might be tinnitus. So for the second and final time, we hit the road again. Over 9,000 miles, 22 restaurants, and 24 days on the road. 24 days of my life for Margaritaville. One thing Ted and I immediately realized while driving was that we did not get a truck cover for the rental. And you can't just have your stuff out in the open for rain or for somebody to steal. We decided to go with camo so people wouldn't see our valuables in the truck bed. They would assume there was just a nice little forest back there. Finally, it was time for bed. We had completed the first day of our new journey, but not before we experienced the smoothest and quietest elevator ride of my entire life.
Jesus.
Day 2, the plan for the day is to drive from Phoenix to El Paso. I went for a quick run in the morning and then I hopped into my favorite elevator. Once again, we hit the open road, and I gotta say, as someone who's been pretty busy lately, it's been really nice to just drive and not think about it. Wait, what is that? What is the thing? Sorry, as I was saying, it's just good to get out there and hit the open road. Is that another The Thing sign? Okay, there are a lot of The Thing signs, and we need to stop for gas anyways, so I guess we'll pull off and see it. I would never be able to guess, though, what was in store for me behind those doors.
What is the thing?
In front of us was an entire museum dedicated to the what-if scenario of if aliens had come to Earth while dinosaurs were here. Now, I didn't know you could make an entire museum off of a hypothetical scenario, but apparently the aliens had come to teach
You can do whatever, I guess.
the dinosaurs technology, and they were there to teach them technology until a war broke out between the aliens and the dinosaurs. The war got to a point where eventually the aliens had to click a big button and send a meteor hurtling towards Earth. And the exhibit didn't stop there. It told us about all the hypothetical secrets of our history. What if the aliens were a part of World War II? What if they drove around Winston Churchill in a car? And what if 9/11?
Are we implying what I think that
What
we're
if?
implying here?
What if
9/11.
Ted did it? Finally, it was time for the main event. The Thing. Ted and I inched toward it, terrified of what this secret would hold and what it would mean to our lives. And I was shocked to find that it was just some papier-mâché fake skeleton thing. And not only that, the guy who said he found the thing's name was Binkley. Number one rule in life, I'm not listening to anyone named Binkley. Day 3, and it is time for Margaritaville number 2. Ted and I spent most of our day crossing about halfway through Texas until we finally arrived at the San Antonio Riverwalk. We actually came here last year, and I just like this spot a lot. It's a very beautiful place in the city. So we finally located our second Margaritaville and met up with our friend Schlatt, who would be joining us for this meal. Now, this being my second Margaritaville ever, I was actually surprised that it looked somewhat similar to the one in City Walk, but it also had like a Texas twist to all of the theming. Immediately when we sat down, I spotted this quote on the wall.
What? What?
And I had to know where it was from. Turns out it's from one of Jimmy's songs called Who's the Blonde Stranger, where the main character of the song vacations in Texas with his wife, then proceeds to cheat on her with a blonde stranger while she's getting over a sunburn, but when he wakes up hungover,
Dude, that girl is like fucking 19. What the
he
fuck?
finds that she's also cheating on him with a different blonde stranger named Dan. Is this important to the overall trip? No. Is it important to me that you knew this? Yes. Anyways, I ordered the fish and chips. Margaritaville has so much fried fish and shrimp on the menu that I thought I should definitely try their fish and chips because it must be a flagship dish for them. As we waited for our food, I ordered a watermelon margarita that was way too sweet. I also mentioned a stage at the last Margaritaville where it looked like live music could be played. That was happening here, which was kind of nice to hear just somebody play live music in a chain restaurant. Finally, my fish and chips arrived, and these look like frozen fish fillets to you, right?
Hey, Eddie, I cooked those up in my microwave the other day.
They tasted okay, and we had a fun time just chatting and drinking over dinner. We seemed to be in the most Texas corner of the entire restaurant. It had the two things that Texas is famous for: cattle and a big old puddle next to your table. When you see a big old puddle, you know you're in Texas. After finishing dinner, we decided to stroll around the even bigger puddle, the San Antonio River, but not before Ted gracefully took a seat in this big Margaritaville chair. And honestly, after it was just a really nice time strolling around this area. I remember liking this last year, but for some reason I associate it with something negative. And I can't quite put my finger on what it was, but honestly, I'm having such a good time that it doesn't even matter anymore. All right, I think it's time to head to bed for the night. Okay, day 4 of the trip, and we're headed from Austin, Texas to New Orleans, Louisiana. And as we made our way across Texas, we decided to stop at Buc-ee's. If you're unaware of what Buc-ee's is, it is a chain of absolutely massive gas stations. It is chaotic in there, but people love it. They make their own food inside, they have their own merch. People lose their mind for Buc-ee, but to be honest, he kind of creeps me out a little bit. And some of these Buc-ee's are so big, busy, and frantic that as a child, you could easily get lost. Buc-ee's nuts. Ted. Did I say child? Because I meant adult. I have lost Ted. I am not freaking out, and Buc-ee doesn't scare me, but yeah, where is Ted? I can't find Ted. All I can find is everything Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's rubs, Buc-ee's nuts, Buc-ee's pillows, Buc-ee's blankets, Buc-ee's onesies. This place is so big, I'm never gonna find him. I'm gonna be stuck in this Buc-ee's forever. I'm gonna have to move in with Buc-ee. He's gonna be my roommate. Where is Ted? Oh, he's just at the checkout aisle. Whew. Crisis averted. We also ran into this dude Braden who had met us last year while we were on the trip for the Rainforest Cafes because he watches our videos.
Let's fucking go.
What are the odds that we see the same guy in a different part of Texas 1 year later for this trip? After our stop at Buc-ee's, we drove all the way to New Orleans. No Margaritaville this night, so we went out on Bourbon Street and had some drinks and a good time. I didn't record a lot because I just wanted to focus on relaxing and having a good time, so we will see you tomorrow. Hitting the road today is special because for the first time on the trip, Ted and I are headed to stay at our first Margaritaville hotel. This one was in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Dude, the fucking dedication. The dedication to a theme. You gotta respect it.
And we were shocked pulling into the parking lot. Before us was a massive building right on the water of the Gulf of Mexico. But Ted needed the room to get some work done, so I decided to explore and see what this whole place was all about. And as I headed up the escalator in the main part of the building, I was met with one of the largest arcades I'd ever seen in my life. They had everything: rock climbing, zip lines, bowling, and even the globally known and incredibly popular game, Stinky Feet. Apparently, this place used to be a failed...
Sorry, what? Stinky Feet. What?
Margaritaville casino that was converted into a family resort, which would explain the giant arcade floor. And as I explored a bit more and saw a pool and a theme park attached, I started to realize just how many Jimmy Buffett quotes echoed throughout the halls. They were on screens, in elevators, near the pool. I caught people talking about Jimmy to each other and to me. The quotes were all about living his lifestyle, and it started to feel like I booked a one-night stay into a Jimmy Buffett cult. After that, I met up with Ted to go to dinner.
Real. Yeah, there's no escape.
Which was located above the arcade next to the volcano rock climbing wall. The menu was different here with a flaming crawfish dip that Ted and I really enjoyed. And I didn't really want another fried meal, but this was Mississippi and they had a catfish platter, so I went for it. And it was pretty good, but I really should have listened to my gut on this one because this fried food so frequently is starting to kill me. Then suddenly, an alarm went off. The room turned red and the volcano began to smoke. Like that time Justin Bieber used a smoke machine on his fans. It continued on for a while until the smoke stopped and this happened.
Bonkers.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck?
What?
Then after our meal, we hit the arcade.
All right, Ted, go easy on him. Ted, go easy on him. Ted.
And just before the whole thing closed, I played one final game of the world famous Stinky Feet. The thing is, you need 2 players to play Stinky Feet, and Ted was busy on another game, so I charged my card twice and decided to play by myself. When a child no older than 4 walked up, grabbed the water gun, and started playing next to me without saying a word.
This is so strange.
And after a fierce battle, I won. I beat the child. I am the king of Stinky Feet. Today started with a lunch at the Margaritaville in Destin, Florida. Now this Margaritaville was directly on the water. Unlike, say, the one at Universal City Walk, this one was not themed to be on a beach, it just actually was on a beach. Our lunch here was going to be my first of 2 Margaritaville meals in the day. I got an Uptown Margarita, even though I'm getting pretty tired of having sweet cocktails so often, and also got the jerk salmon. The drink was fine, and the salmon was actually pretty good, especially after a bunch of days of fried and road trip food. The view of our meal also featured a bunch of weird boats. That was just really fun for me to see a lot of boats that look like they're not supposed to be on the water. We then paid the check and got ready to drive just an hour.
What the fuck is that? Why is there just a pagoda on a boat? What is that? What is that?
To be on the water. We then paid the check and got ready to drive just an hour and a half before we had another Margaritaville meal in Panama City Beach. The PCB location was at this boardwalk area called Pier Park, and even though it was a little bit cloudy, this location was right on the water and beautiful yet again, which was a great distraction because the last thing I wanted to do an hour and a half after my last meal was to eat a meal at the same restaurant in a different location. The interior was pretty big and elaborate compared to some we had seen, but the place was super busy, so Ted and I opted to sit at the bar. I was still so full from the salmon, but I decided to get a chicken quesadilla for my food and a what the fuck was it called? A Ruby Red Renegade for my cocktail. Why did I choose it? Because the name of the vodka in it was called Deep Eddy, and that's my name, so I got it. Even though we were both full and exhausted, at least Ted and I had a perfect view of a very blue-tinted TV screen that exclusively showed Jimmy Buffett's Instagram posts, and boy does this guy know how to post. You had to kind of squint to see what the pictures were because the tint of the TV screen was so blue, but this guy's posting feet for free. Jimmy,
why does it look like that?
You are a celebrity. You can charge for those puppies. Then we headed to the beach to see the sunset. And wow, this was absolutely beautiful. I had a great time wiggling my toes in the sand and staring at the sunset. But you don't get to see my toes because you didn't pay me. In the last 6 days, we had driven over 35 hours and over 2,000 miles. And my stomach was absolutely full of 2 Margaritaville meals. But either way, I couldn't deny that this trip had brought me to such a beautiful spot. Ted and I were even lucky enough to see dolphins out there swimming in the water. I don't think the dolphins saw us, but if they did and are watching this, you saw my toes for free and you owe me money. The drive today was a big one, going from Panama City Beach to Hollywood Beach, Florida. And I'll be honest, it was pretty taxing. Not only was it a 9-hour drive, but we had multiple stretches of heavy rain. Well, I'm from Florida and the rain isn't such a big deal. Shut up, okay? Shut up and go tell Mickey Mouse I do not care.
Shut up. It looks like a lot of rain.
Rain is slippery and slippery is dangerous. We got to the Margaritaville Hotel completely exhausted. This was another massive building. It featured a chandelier of margaritas and what seemed to be a Jimmy Buffett museum lining the hallway. The restaurant was attached to the hotel, so we sat down exhausted and starving. Now this menu was a bit classier than other locations. We ordered a shrimp ceviche and poke nachos. Both were pretty good, unlike my ginger margarita, which was not great. But my entree, the lemon tahini bowl, made this the best meal we had so far. Turns out the best meal you could have at Margaritaville is when you have food that isn't from the standard Margaritaville menu. And after an exhausting day, having some decent food and drinks was exactly what I needed. They also had a live band playing, and for the first time at Margaritaville, I was feeling it. I had Jimmy fever. Jimmy's concert footage was playing on screen, and it was a comforting presence after a hard day. After dinner, Ted let me know that he had to last minute record something for his channel, so he got a separate room and I got ours all to myself. But lucky for me, I was kept company because Jimmy was on the hotel TV.
Hi, it's me, Jimmy. Thank you for escaping to Margaritaville. For many years, Margaritaville was only a song about a mythical place. Now, Margaritaville is real.
Watching the hotel TV made me realize just how strikingly handsome and charming Jimmy was.
He is. I mean, he's kind of cute. Not gonna lie.
So now enjoy Margaritaville and remember, fins up.
Fins up, Jimmy. Waking up on day 8, we had 2 Margaritavilles on the schedule. The first on the list was in Miami. As we headed into the city, we spotted the coolest guy that's ever lived.
What's he doing? Oh, he's flying like a plane.
And then we pulled up to the Miami Margaritaville, which was right on the water. At this point, I am about to give up on trying one cocktail at every Margaritaville. We just drank last night, and it's not even just about the alcohol, it's the sugar when you're having cocktail after cocktail. But for now, I got the last mango in Paris, and good for me, this is one of the best cocktails I've had so far. But a little hungover and exhausted, I spotted a familiar face. I looked up and saw Jimmy once again on the screen, as if to say, "You're all good, pal. Have a good time." I ordered the grilled fish tacos, which for Margaritaville were pretty damn good. Now, if this were at a good taco stand somewhere,
I love a good fish taco. It's kind of hard to fuck that up, you know?
they would be mediocre to kind of bad. But for now, they're hitting the spot. Then it was time to book it to Key West, Florida. We got lucky on the drive and just narrowly avoided this storm. But I gotta say, once we actually hit the highway to Key West, this drive was absolutely beautiful. If you're unaware, the Florida Keys are a collection of islands off the mainland of Florida. In American culture, these islands are pretty famous. I'm sure you've heard the Beach Boys talk about it, or our boy Jimmy Buffett himself, whose entire culture around his songs is really based in Key West, Florida. We made our way through the Keys, and I was excited because Key West was the location of the original Margaritaville. As we arrived to the first Margaritaville restaurant, I was pretty surprised by how local it felt. I mean, the rest of the Margaritaville locations we went to felt like a big and branded American chain. And while this one was definitely still themed, it felt more preserved from another time rather than this huge corporate thing. We were feeling pretty good, so Ted and I decided to order some drinks. I got a Who's to Blame because it's from the lyrics of the Margaritaville song. I decided to get a cheeseburger in Paradise because it just felt right to get at this location. Everything was just going really well. My burger tasted a little bit more like a local burger than a chain burger. And in such a tropical location, I mean, how can you not enjoy yourself? After being done with dinner, we headed to the hotel. Yet again, I am happy we had a sponsor for this thing because, oh my god, I would not be paying for this shit by myself. The location was right on the beach, so after checking in, we decided to go relax and see the sunset. Last year, when we did our Rainforest Cafe road trip, it was fun, but also incredibly taxing. But the last few days on the beach were just too beautiful to stress about this entire road trip. And that's when it finally happened. Staring out at the water, I felt my stress melt and wash away with the tides. Even though we'd driven
God, I want to go to the beach so bad. Oh, it's been so long.
Over 40 hours and 8 days, and even though my last 5 meals in a row were all Margaritaville, I got it. I understood. Jimmy Buffett wasn't just some guy who turned one hit song into a corporate empire. He's the king of being chill and enjoying yourself. Right where my toes wiggled in the sand is where Jimmy started this whole thing. I can't do this trip like Eddie would. I have to do it like Jimmy. Because no matter how stressed I get in life, mentally, I have to be just like Jimmy Buffett. You come to a place like this, and you can forget about wars, you know, famine, class disparity. I mean, all that stuff is still happening, but I'm in Florida and I had a margarita today. Liking Buffett isn't some weird cult thing, it's what can fix me. The next morning, I woke up feeling better than I ever have in my entire life. And as I was going through my bag, I mysteriously found an article of clothing that I had never packed. This shirt not only looked great on me, but also had put itself on my merch website, yikeshop.com. And you can get it by going there and clicking the link in the description. What the hell? That's so weird. Anyways, I felt refreshed and was ready to head back to mainland Florida. Today's plan was just to drive up to Orlando and stay at the Margaritaville Resort there. We decided to give ourselves one break day because it's near the halfway point, and then the next day we'd be going to Universal Studios Orlando, where there's a Margaritaville restaurant at their City Walk. The resort in Orlando was giant. Now, Ted was a little bit late to the bookings of the resort, but luckily, even though they ran out of rooms at the hotel, they had these cottages for him to stay in. I instantly just felt relaxed, surrounded by my favorite quotes from my favorite guy. Oh, and also, it was nice to be with my lovely girlfriend, Chrissy. Margaritaville! Chrissy actually wrote a song last year about wanting to live her life at Margaritaville, but unfortunately for her, that's my life now, so that's my thing. The two of us had a bit of a date night and had a fun night walking around Disney Springs, enjoying the sights, and just having a nice time.
Haunted.
Today is not as interesting. We were just hanging out in Orlando. I got footage of this manatee eating some lettuce, so that's pretty cool. We were also hanging out with...
Did you get it?
We were hanging out with Drew Gooden, my good friend Drew Gooden. But Drew and Amanda did join us on the Rainforest Cafe trip in Orlando last year. So I figured, of course, I would ask them if they wanted to do it again. Do you want to go to Margaritaville?
No, it's just one dinner. I'm not eating dinner right now. Do it again. It's tomorrow. Your plans. You live here anyway. I want to go home. You can do it whenever. I don't want to.
Back when we were in Biloxi, I feel that I was a bit misguided in how I felt about Jimmy. Staying at our third Margaritaville resort brought me so much comfort. Jimmy was constantly speaking to me and reminding me to be calm, to breathe in and appreciate the beach, and also to drink alcohol. Leaving the resort, though, we were headed to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure because Margaritaville was located just outside the park at City Walk in Orlando. Before we entered the park, Chrissy got this awesome hat. I also tried on a hat that I was totally pulling off. Am I pulling it off? But I decided against it because I didn't want everyone at the park to be jealous of me today. We then entered the park and immediately Ted got something called Who Hash, which is, you know, a Dr. Seuss themed food that looks like it's served out of a dog food can.
Cindy, that's her name.
Cindy Lou Who.
Tastes like Cindy Lou Who. Or, I don't know, the mayor.
We then spent the day going on rides and having fun, but right before we left, Chrissy and I decided to go on the Cat in the Hat ride. This ride was absolutely terrifying.
I am terrified.
What the hell is this? Is this supposed to be for children? Because this would absolutely terrify me as a kid. It terrified me right now.
He looks genuinely terrified. I think I would be too.
And after being absolutely traumatized by the Cat in the Hat ride, we decided to go to the Margaritaville just outside. This one had an extra bar across the walkway with a plane next to it, and this is where I figured out that every time you see a plane in Margaritaville, it's a replica of Jimmy's personal seaplane, the Hemisphere Dancer. Wait a minute, quick clarification here, this is the actual fucking plane. They retired Jimmy's plane and it is decoration at the Margaritaville in Orlando. I was next to Jimmy's real plane and I had no idea, I'm such an idiot. When we sat down for dinner, I got the huli huli chicken and shrimp, and this dish, sucked. The chicken was fine, but the shrimp was really dry.
Oh my god.
But hey, just like my favorite guy, I spent the day in the sun, I ate some food and had a margarita by the water, and also got to see Margaritaville employees on stilts. It's always fun to see somebody on stilts. You're not supposed to be that tall, and I'll be quite honest, it'd be funny if you fell over. The next day, I had to say goodbye to Chrissy as we headed out from the Margaritaville resort. Whoa. To meet at the truck, we had to head to the cottages that Ted was staying in, and I got a good look at this neighborhood. Who would have thought that Jimmy also owns full neighborhoods across the country? And normally this would make me feel kind of weird, but I'm just glad that they're providing housing to those in need. Retired people in Orlando. Once again, we hit the road, headed for Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now, we're not eating at the Margaritaville there tonight, we're actually doing it tomorrow afternoon, which is great because my stomach is on fire. But I've learned from Jimmy, you know, all of it is worth it at the end of the day when you're rewarded with a tropical location. And looking at the rest of the trip, I can't wait to explore the other tropical locations this nation has to offer. Margaritaville's in places like Atlanta, Georgia, Syracuse, New York, or Cleveland, Ohio. So yeah, I might be speaking too soon, but I'm pretty confident that I totally won't get tired of Margaritaville. When we woke up in Myrtle Beach, we didn't get to see the beach or the ocean at all because we had to go straight to the Margaritaville. This will start a stretch of 4 Margaritaville meals in a row. This one was located at Heroes Harbor and was pretty standard for most Margaritavilles, except for the giant Margaritaville hurricane on the ceiling hovering above one of their giant blenders. Due to the fact that I was gonna have Margaritaville a second time today, I decided to take it easy and get a grilled chicken sandwich. The sandwich was, wet? It didn't seem like this was butter or anything. It tasted like water. I'll be honest, this morning I am out of energy and my chicken sandwich is super bland. Normal Eddie would be bummed. But it was like I could almost feel Jimmy's large, warm hands on my shoulder as I took in a breath and pictured myself on the beach. Pixelated toes wiggling in the sand. Suddenly, I was okay again. Immediately after Heroes Harbor, we had to book it to Atlanta, Georgia. Our schedule was very tight, so we had to get to Atlanta before we went to bed that night, because the next day we had a very long drive and 2 Margaritavilles to hit. But on our drive, traffic completely stopped. Stuck on the highway. I have to pee. The delay was so long that we ended up calling the Margaritaville and asking when they closed because our ETA was 10 p.m. Luckily, they said the kitchen was open until 11, so we were fine if we got there an hour early. But when we arrived, we found the doors were locked, and when we asked one of the employees, they said they closed the kitchen early. This would completely ruin the next week of planning for us. But Ted threw a Hail Mary and told them that we were going to every Margaritaville in the country and that we absolutely needed to eat here tonight, but we didn't want to bother them. So if there was any way they could even give us like a bowl of chips to eat, that would be enough. And the manager said, "I got you." So they had us sit down and the bar was open, but the kitchen was absolutely closed. They got us margaritas and then brought out a piping hot plate of ribs, fries, and spinach and artichoke dip. Ted and
Let's
I
go.
were kind of in disbelief because
Based. That's so cool. What a homie.
they had no reason to do this for us, but they just did it because
I mean, yeah, like, that's the worst type of customer, but I hope they tipped well.
because they saw we kind of needed some help with our extremely stupid road trip. And all the manager asked was that we just give her a good Google and Yelp review. So we absolutely did that. We of course left a tip. And I just gotta say, this is not me praising the Margaritaville Corporation. It was just every single employee in there was so nice to us. They did not have to do that. We are 2 guys doing the stupidest thing in the world, and they did not need to do any extra work for us. And I am very grateful that they did. So thank you to everybody who works there.
It is 7 a.m. It is now day 14. 2 whole weeks of my life on Margaritaville.
Today was another double Margaritaville day that included 8 to 9 hours of driving. Ted caught up on some sleep as I drove, both of us mentally exhausted. And as we got to downtown Nashville to have lunch, we walked our way to the Margaritaville. This one was pretty standard. You know, it had live music, a tiki room, and a plane on the ceiling. Did I want to be in another standard Margaritaville eating another standard Margaritaville meal? Not exactly, but it's not about what I want, it's about what Jimmy would do. I got a Southwest chicken salad, and when the salad arrived, the chicken was so dry. Which is fine, you know, I don't have a problem with that at all. In fact, I think that's cool as hell. Give me another margarita. Yeah, I can give me another margarita.
Margaritaville.
So bad.
Number 12, I think. How you feeling, Ted?
I'm fucking
It's sitting away again in Margaritaville.
losing it.
Then it was time to head for the 13th in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Now, Pigeon Forge is famous for its theme park, Dollywood. Now, Dollywood is a magical place created by country legend Dolly Parton.
This is the season for Dollywood.
And to be honest, I would love to check this out, but we have no time to do anything on this trip but go to Margaritavilles. Heading into Pigeon Forge, their main street reminded me a lot of the Wisconsin Dells, where I went frequently as a kid. Both feel like Vegas strips for Midwest family tourists. The Pigeon Forge Margaritaville was a hotel and a restaurant, but I did not expect it to be in the middle of this huge entertainment center with a Ferris wheel. Ted and I were splitting this very interesting room. It was covered in Margaritaville branding and also had a balcony that went out into the shopping center. We headed down for dinner, and this Margaritaville restaurant was pretty standard except for 2 giant jugs of margarita ingredients with piping that led to the restaurant's blender. At this point, I can say that we are officially burnt out. 13 meals at the same restaurant in 14 days. But in times like these, it's important to turn to faith. A higher power that can give you strength. I need to think WWJD. What would Jimmy do? If Jimmy didn't want a single bite of this food or a margarita, he'd kick off his sandals, throw his feet on the table, lean back, and order a cheeseburger in paradise and another margarita? I mean, if that's what Jimmy would do, I guess. I loved every single bite of it, and I was very glad that Jimmy was keeping a watchful eye on me the entire meal.
Yes, you must stare at your supreme leader while you eat your meal.
I ate the entire thing. I wasn't sick of this food or extremely full. I was cool as a cucumber. Does this look like the face of somebody who isn't as chill as Jimmy Buffett? To prove how chill I was, I decided to grab this hat from the gift shop, and I was totally pulling it off. Ted went to finish his video in the room, and a chill guy like me decided to cruise around and see the sights. Normally, even though I don't have a fear of heights, I've generally avoided Ferris wheels. I also don't like doing things socially in public when I'm alone, like riding a ride. But I wasn't normal me anymore. I'd been born again as something much better. Cool Eddie. So when I got in line, I spotted the family ahead of me being forced to take a green screen picture before getting on the ride. And I thought, they're not gonna force me to take that picture by myself, right?
Let me hear you say hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let me hear you say I am blessed. I am blessed.
I got on that Ferris wheel and was totally chill the whole time.
I am not worried about how high up we're going.
Oh, we're shaking. Oh. So chill, in fact, that I fell asleep while on the ride. Swear to God, I was dead asleep. After, I felt phenomenal. Normal Eddie wouldn't have gone on that Ferris wheel alone, but thanks to Jimmy, I have faith. The next day, all we had to do was drive from Tennessee to Atlantic City, New Jersey. After yesterday, I have absolutely zero complaints about the trip. I'm chill, I'm fun, I'm not exhausted in the slightest, and because of that, I decided to catch up on a little bit of reading from my favorite guy.
Do you know that Jimmy Buffett is 76 years young?
Cool.
Jimmy actually has over 30 albums, most of which have gone gold, platinum, or some even have gone multi-platinum. They would hoot and holler and roll all round up there at the church they built out of an old school bus, and they'd run through the swamp. Don't you know nobody fucked with Reverend Sonny Boy and his followers? Snakebite Key was his domain.
We started day 16 at the Margaritaville in Atlantic City. This one was located inside of a casino, and even though it was 11:30, I got a margarita for Jimmy. I enjoyed my morning margarita because that's the kind of guy that I am now. Other than that though, this was a pretty uneventful Margaritaville. The waiter complimented my shirt, which you could get at yikeshop.com. My lava shrimp was crispy and I liked the sauce. I was having a great time. I even saw oars on the wall of Jimmy's most famous moments, like when he performed for Facebook, when he played the electric guitar, when he rocked on, and when he had a mustache. Then we headed to the beach to see the ocean so I could really take in the atmosphere. New Jersey. Next, we made our way to New York City. Now, normally, staying in Times Square would be my nightmare. New York is great, but the crowds, the germs, and the general vibe of Times Square is a fever dream. But Cool Eddie didn't think about those things, so we checked into the hotel and went to our rooms.
This is the whole room.
When we headed downstairs, before we went up the escalator to go to the restaurant, I was talking to one of the employees and they gave me a warning. They said, "Don't order the Jimmy's Jammin' Jambalaya." And I said, "Why?" They replied with, "It's bad. Steer clear of it. So I will not be getting that right now." As we walked into the restaurant, a shining beacon caught my eye. In the center of the room was a giant replica of the Statue of Liberty holding a margarita to the sky. The margarita glass was made out of an LED screen that played video on it. This was a shining beacon of light for all of those across the world who wanted to head to America and eat at a Margaritaville in Times Square.
And get fucking wasted.
Wasn't just the Statue of Liberty. This was a sign from Jimmy that I had not gone far enough. So we ordered some food and some drinks with
Price looks so good.
Ted's friends Katie and Devin, and this is where I decided to go all in. Anytime I felt a moment of being tired on this road trip or wanted to go home, I'd cut it short with another sip of a margarita. And we had margarita after margarita. The Margaritaville in Times Square also has bars on multiple floors. So we decided to do the Margaritaville bar crawl. Drink after drink, I could feel myself becoming closer to the man himself. And as Ted headed home for the night, I wandered around Times Square. I was invincible. I could make a beach out of anything. And it was then that I saw the absolute beauty of this place. Times Square was just like the beaches I'd been to. And I could live like this every night for the rest of my life.
All right, it is 7 in the morning. I fear that last night I jimmied a little too close to the sun. I don't know how Jimmy does this.
Oh no. Oh no.
I don't know how you can sustain this
Too many margaritas.
lifestyle.
After getting out of bed, I got locked in the bathroom. As we make our way out of New York, I need to be honest with you. I know this may come as a shock, but I have not been loving every single Margaritaville. I just can't do it. I can't be like Jimmy. But we were headed to yet another in Syracuse, New York, with Ted's friend Tucker. Pulling up in Syracuse, it seemed to be a mall called Destiny USA. Not exactly a tropical beach somewhere. I parked in a different spot from everyone else and got lost in the mall trying to find them, so I went to this guy Spencer for directions. Word of advice: do not go in there. Arriving to this Margaritaville, it was clear that this one was probably the worst we'd ever seen. It was a lifeless Margaritaville in a mall, the food was below average, and if
Yikes, that looked so bad.
it wasn't for good conversation in the group, I would have really hated this lunch. Next up was Niagara Falls, so yet again, the boys were headed to Canada.
Any plants or animals coming in?
No.
Any alcohol or tobacco?
No.
Any cannabis in your car?
No.
Any guns in your vehicle?
No.
Any currency of $10,000 or more?
No. Once we were through the border, we decided to park and walk over to the Margaritaville. And the energy at the Niagara Falls Margaritaville was different. We were seated next to a massive Niagara Falls screen. And aside from the projector
Let's go.
waterfall, the menu was different and they had this pirate mascot guy. Hey Canada, Jimmy's the mascot. You don't need a pirate. Jimmy's already there. I got the buffalo poutine because we were in Canada, and to my surprise, this was by far the best thing I've had at Margaritaville. The chicken and fries were crispy, the gravy was really good. This was just a really great meal. And then just over the falls, a giant animatronic of a tequila bottle came over the cliffside. It then poured tequila into the giant blender in front of us. We were having a blast in Canada. We then decided to walk over to the falls. I saw this skunk on the way, check it out. As we were showing up to the falls, we happened to catch it right at the time that the fireworks show started. With a couple drinks in us, we had the best possible time in Canada. I should have a couple margaritas every night.
Bad news, guys. My tummy hurts again.
I don't care anymore. I'm over this whole thing. Today we went to Cleveland, the most tropical Margaritaville that exists. I got a Caesar salad and the chicken on this thing. Wow. Without exaggeration, this was the toughest piece of chicken I've ever chewed in my entire life. And for some reason, out of nowhere, Ted has started liking Margaritaville now? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Lucky for me, day 19 was in Chicago. Ted and I took the metro into the city because this one was located at Navy Pier. Now, I've mentioned before that I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, so it was really great to be home. And when we arrived at the city, it got even better because we met up with my brother, Tony. When we finally got to Navy Pier, we also met up with my good friend, Danny Gonzalez. Heading into this Margaritaville, I was surprised to see that it looked more like a Chicago tavern than a regular Margaritaville restaurant. Everyone in the group obviously wanted margaritas, and I didn't want to be a buzzkill, so I went for another one again. We noticed that the photos for the fish and chips made them look higher quality than we'd seen before, so out of curiosity, I ordered them again. They looked almost exactly the same. And even though everyone except for me was excited to eat, after the meal, none of us felt good. Okay, so we just got out of Margaritaville and we're all feeling like we had a pretty heavy meal, but I think I know what'll make us feel better. The bean!
My God.
Bean.
Let's go.
Bean. Bean. But even the bean couldn't stop my tummy from hurting. What makes it worse is that Jimmy wouldn't have a tummy ache. He'd probably be cool and chill about all this. I am such a failure.
Jimmy would be disappointed in you. Do not disappoint the Jimmy.
All right, we're about to leave my mom's, but I can understand why I felt so bad after eating the fish and chips. I woke up and my stomach is legitimately like, I'm in a little bit of pain. It's not like food poisoning or anything. I just think my body cannot handle this much Margaritaville.
Eventually, I got my stuff together and we started the drive to Bloomington, Minnesota to go to the Margaritaville in Mall of America. During the drive, however, I found out that I was not the only one who was affected by yesterday's fish and chips. So, Ted and I both got the fish and chips yesterday. And we've had some, let's say, stomach issues today.
Yeah.
So I think I can officially say that we're getting pretty damn tired of eating Margaritaville all the time.
Well, you know,
What do you mean? You had intestinal trouble today. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, like the vibes kind of counteracted it a little bit.
The vibes counteracted. What are you talking about? You're unhappy while we're on tropical beaches through all of Florida.
I don't know. I think my I realized I had some self-reflection. I realized some things were maybe a little bit different than I was seeing them.
The day you had self-reflection is the day you had diarrhea? Finally, we got to Mall of America, the largest mall in the United States, so I could have Margaritaville for the 20th time. And Ted's
Diarrhea does tend to prompt a little self-reflection.
Seemed more excited than ever for absolutely no reason. Not only are there more Margaritavilles than Rainforest Cafes, but this one is taking a toll on my body and I cannot wait to be done. As we entered the biggest mall that the US has to offer, I felt a disturbing energy. Oh God. I had somehow forgotten that this Margaritaville was directly across from the Rainforest Cafe. The the two restaurants that have broken my soul and made me look like a fool, sharing a space right next to each other. We headed inside to get this one over with, and as I went to order a water, Ted ordered us 2 5 o'clock somewheres in a blender and an order of volcano nachos. The thought of drinking one of these drinks just 6 hours after trying to recover from yesterday's meal was sickening. And before I knew it, a giant mound of nachos arrived at the table. But somehow,
so many nachos.
Next to my misery was Ted, enjoying himself to a weird degree for the first time at the 20th Margaritaville. Then it was time for our entrees, and I realized that in my attempt to order as much of the menu as possible, I had only a few chances left to get a dish that I had been avoiding. One that sent shivers down my spine just hearing the name: Jimmy's Jammin' Jambalaya. As I went for a bite, I clearly burned my mouth right here. I burned the shit out of my mouth. It doesn't look hot when you look at the plate, but when I picked it up on a fork, look at the steam, my God. Jimmy's Jammin' Jambalaya was fine. But when you eat at a restaurant 20 times in 20 days, everything from them starts to taste the same. And instead of joining me in my misery, Ted, yet again, was having a blast at the Mall of America. Look at the way he's eating. That drives me up the fucking wall. I just can't fucking. Second trip in a row he's doing the exact same bullshit. I know. That's when, for the first time, the thought crossed
God, it's gonna kill him.
my mind. I might kill Ted. After finishing our meal and paying, Ted demanded that we go on a roller coaster immediately. I mean, can you let me digest for like...
yeah, fuck that, come on.
After the troubles of this morning and forcing down this meal and having another super sweet cocktail, going on this ride broke me. Even though they didn't let us film, Ted insisted on going on the ride a second time right after we got off. So nauseous and tired, I walked around alone. There I was again, wasting away in Margaritaville. Not chill like Jimmy, just Eddie. Day 21, and thank God we only have one Margaritaville left in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's another one in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it's a 10-hour drive. Oh my God. When we arrived in Tulsa, we were shocked to find that this restaurant wasn't just in a casino. The casino was owned by Margaritaville. Walking past the slot machines to get to the restaurant, I noticed that there were Jimmy Buffett quotes on the wall, but they were less about being peaceful and more about luck and winning in the casino. We got to the restaurant and this one was pretty big. Lucky for me, the menu and food quality at this one was much better than most Margaritavilles. And having this food was actually pretty refreshing after a month of cheeseburgers in paradise. But as we left dinner, I noticed how Margaritaville branded the machines in the casino were. And they had these Margaritaville characters on it that I had never seen before. Mr. Moneybags? Lucky Ducky? Who the hell are these people? Ted and I were on the final stretch across the country, and all we had to do today was camp at Santa Rosa Lake in New Mexico. On our way, I stopped to buy snacks at the gas station when this dog came out of nowhere and was just hanging out near me. Whose dog is this?
Oh?
I'm in a gas station. Anyway,
it's a good doggo.
I grabbed my snacks and then, hey. The owner said it was his dog. His name was Buddy, and he was very sweet. We got to our campsite, and it was beautiful. Ted made some steaks on the grill, and I made a little spread of meats and cheeses for us to snack on. Having a full day to enjoy ourselves and nature got me thinking. As we near the end of this road trip, I realized that maybe I was trying a little too hard to be like Jimmy Buffett. And on our way to Vegas, I questioned why I had strived to be a beloved, rich, and famous musician that gets to vacation all the time. I mean, what was I thinking? I don't need to be Jimmy Buffett. I need to be myself. And to truly be myself,
feel strong,
I need
man.
to face what I fear most. Something that has been haunting me for over a year of my life. And finally, I think I'm ready. Stand right there. Ted, we are headed to the final Margaritaville. But what do you say we make one pit stop first?
Do you want to go to the Rainforest Cafe and get one drink?
I do.
The Las Vegas Rainforest Cafe was just as I had remembered it. It had a Tracy tree, a cheetah, elephants, monkeys, and of course, thunderstorms. Ted and I got 2 cheetah-ritas, and man, they were bad. But to my surprise, I liked being back. It was comforting in a way. Not like being home, but sort of like when you pass your old high school and it feels familiar, but you'd never want to spend a full day there ever again. After our quick pit stop, Ted and I said goodbye to the cafe and were ready to close this whole thing out.
One more.
One more. We walked just 2 blocks down the strip and finally arrived at the final Margaritaville. This one was one of the busiest and most decorated Margaritavilles of the entire trip. And for the first time, I truly felt it. We ordered 2 perfect margaritas and a key lime pie, a dessert to end our 24-day Margaritaville meal. Turns out I can experience true joy like Jimmy, but only when I'm done doing a thing that I have to do. Our pies arrived, and as the key lime hit my mouth, it tasted like one thing. Victory. And that was it. We had eaten at every single Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville in the US and Canada. Finally, I could go home. We were done. Again. And the only thing left to do was to say goodbye to the man that had helped me through this whole thing. Goodbye, Jimmy. Goodbye, Jimmy. Goodbye, Jimmy. Goodbye, Jimmy's dog. Goodbye, Jimmy. I truly cannot believe that we did this a second time. And after celebrating our accomplishment that night in Vegas, Ted and I ended our journey looking out on the strip in the exact same spot we had just 1 year before. Our second and final road trip doing something like this was now over. And these 2 journeys have done so much for me. I've been able to see so many beautiful locations across this country. I've been able to make countless memories with people that I love and care about. As a person, I've been able to grow and learn more about myself. But these trips were about something so much more than all of those things. What it's all about at the end of the day is giving 2 giant corporations a ton of my money. And knowing that I did that means that I wouldn't trade these trips for the world. Not even if my family was in danger and doing so would save them. So now, after just 45 days of our lives, Ted and I are the only 2 people on the planet that can say we've been to every Rainforest Cafe and Margaritaville in the US and Canada. It's actually not that impressive. Oh my god, was this a giant waste of time? 45 days, that doesn't even count when I planned both trips or when we were editing our videos? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh.
Shut up. Okay, we're doing this. Okay. Hi, it's Trixie. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have Brittany Broski back here. What do you know about that?
Let's go. Hi. Welcome in. I'm good. How are you?
That's like at a drag show, like groups of girls will start white women. My most viewed video of all time is me putting this beautiful creature into drag.
You're welcome.
We're gonna do it again today because that was
Let's go.
our first time we'd ever met.
It was. You
on
said,
camera.
hi, nice to meet you, get on set.
You said I want to be your friend, and I said, well, something you don't know about me is, in order to be my friend, you have to make me money.
We
in
have
some
to
way.
monetize.
Yeah. So ask Katya how much we hang out. Yeah, right.
Orville on her show being like, I love the only time that I get to see you is when you need something from me.
100%. James Mansfield will be like, you know what? It's not even like you've turned Hollywood.
Got a new petticoat today, so my day has been wonderful. Many twirls, that's so fun. Oh, so happy for you. I need a petticoat. I would like to do mini twirls. That sounds fun.
and you only call me when you need a wig because that's all you ever called me for. You haven't changed.
It was never anything other than
Right.
that.
Like me, Gia Gunn, we haven't changed.
Yeah.
We've always been who we are.
Yeah. Let it be what it is.
Do you love Gia Gunn?
I do love Gia Gunn.
I do too. Gia, if you ever want to come on the channel, I love Gia.
How has Gia not been on the channel?
Yeah, nothing beats it. Yeah, no, I've wanted one for a long time, but I just like thought it would be expensive, so I haven't really looked into it. I'll be honest. Like Jessica Kelgren Fotsar, she always has like a full petticoat and skirt and everything. She does like a 50s, 60s vintage style. And I'm so envious because it's so gorgeous. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Definitely will be in my goals soon.
I don't know.
The accident.
The incident.
The incident.
Listen, I'm gonna glue down Brittany's brows and we'll be right back. We're just using some face powder here to block out these brows. And you know, for someone like Brittany with her brow shape and texture, it is better to just cover them up. It is better to just start fresh.
With someone who looks like this.
Right, when you have someone like
Roasted,
this, where it
dude.
is, you know,
jarring.
This isn't the set of The Mandalorian.
Right.
So like this face isn't okay.
So what foundation are we opting for today?
This is Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Foundation because it's like a very full coverage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little warmer on you, but
Well, I did self-tan. Thank you for pointing it out. I
it's a
actually
little
am very
warm.
tan.
I was gonna say this is warmer than you normally are.
Yeah. Get into Bali Body, girl.
Bali Body?
Bali Body. I've recently discovered them. It's a great tan.
Did you say Baldy Body?
Baldy.
Called,
Baldy body.
I just short-circuited. I just forgot what
A 7-layer. One in lavender, 3 ruffles on the top layer. Oh, that's so fun. Gorgeous.
I was gonna say halfway through my sentence.
See, you smoke weed. That's what
The
happened.
volume.
I'm not joking, bitch. Memory loss is for real.
From weed?
From edibles.
Mary, I don't know my address, my phone
so
number. I
serious?
actually wish I had done marijuana earlier in life because I think my body would know how to handle it.
Yeah.
But now, because I started as an adult
Me
in a
too.
state where it's legal.
Me too.
Which is the I don't know, wholesome way to do it.
Yeah.
I should have been on spice.
Yes, everyone else has a tolerance, and I'm just like,
Okay, but like, you know what else causes memory loss? Depression. So, I mean, come see, come saw. I'm fucked either way.
You have got to Uber me to the hospital right now.
I know. By the way, I know I'm using a firmer pressure, but you're my real friend, so I
Right.
don't feel so delicate. You're getting treated a little poorly.
Princess vibes, yes.
It's nothing I'm not used to.
Right. Ooh, James.
James, what was that?
What was that? That's me talking to Nick. Nick, what was that?
Hello?
Hello. Oh my god. People like that just effortless. Who you know who else is on that level? Alyssa Edwards.
Yes.
Alyssa Edwards is on the level of Wendy, where like the funniest moments are when she doesn't know that it's funny.
She's not in on the joke. I love Alyssa.
I do too. Another Texas
Oh,
girl. Can
Wendy.
you speak on behalf of Texas?
I would
Wait,
What is
is Wendy Williams okay? The last time I heard she like was in and out of the hospital. I never like checked back in on her. I hope she's good.
going on?
Girl, tomfoolery.
Are there lots of liberal people in Texas
No.
who are getting together like what is happening?
Well, yes, and it's all the young people.
Right.
And unfortunately,
Sorry. I'm silencing women. I might as well be Texas.
asking me a question and then like physically shutting
Yeah.
my mouth.
I'm like, and so what are your thoughts? Close your mouth. Close your mouth.
It's unfortunate that there's so
Classic.
few like blue bubbles in Texas, you know?
Yeah, it's like what, Dallas, Austin.
Houston, Austin, I would say pretty much. But like, it's all young people who are spread throughout the state because it's such a big state that just like, it's hard to come together because, you know, your rights are actively being stripped away.
Right.
It's just so fucking terrifying.
Imagine
as a
you're
woman,
like-
as a gay person, and like, it's just terrifying.
Imagine
Yeah.
being a
Also, any protest in Texas, there's gonna be like counter protesters with a bunch of fucking guns. So, gonna change to the nightie and get ready for bed. All right.
dad or a mom right now, and you have a daughter, and you live in Texas, and
what-
you're like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what,
What
to
do you
say.
do?
I don't know.
It's so upsetting.
I remember in 2016, I called my sister who was 18 for the first time, and she
Uh-huh.
was voting for the first time, and I called her and was like, listen, it's not normally like this.
Yeah, babe.
It's not normally like presidential candidates being caught saying they'll grab and shit. Like,
It's just like,
it's normally a little more normal than this.
They had Bill Clinton out here saying he didn't inhale the marijuana, but he had the marijuana in his mouth.
Girl. That's me when David's like, did you smoke the rest of my weed?
No.
I'm like,
No.
I didn't inhale it.
But it's
I
gone.
was in the room while it burned.
Yes.
And maybe I took breaths.
Your short-term memory loss is so fucking bad. You're like, I
Took
genuinely
breaths.
don't remember.
Girl, entirely.
I wasn't there. That's me. Literally, I'll be.
Maybe.
I'll take an edible. Everything's funny. We should do edibles together sometime.
Do you think we would survive that?
I would piss on your. Do you
You
know
know
what
what?
Yes.
my true? Who's gonna talk first?
Do you know what?
Who's gonna win?
You're the guest on the channel. I'll let you talk first,
I was
which I
gonna say-
never do.
No, and that means a lot to me. I was gonna say my true like testament of friendship is I need to pee on something that you own from laughing. I've pissed on every single one of my friends' couches
Aw.
and chairs.
Damn. So if
It's
you're one of
bad.
Brittany's friends and you
What?
think she loves you and she hasn't pissed in
And I
your
haven't
house,
peed on something you own.
she's been putting you on.
Like we need to like have edible night. We need to watch Wendy Williams compilations on YouTube, and I'm gonna pee on your couch.
The other day, I had the day off. I did marijuana and went alone to Dave & Buster's with my headphones in. I ate
Did
nachos and a
marijuana.
Diet Coke, and I played games for like 2 hours. I have 13,000 points. I have 13,000 tickets at Dave & Buster's.
You showed
Girl,
up
I could afford
alone.
They have a Roomba in the prize room right now. I'm about to win it.
That is so fucking ridiculous. But like, I know you're not
God.
joking.
No. I
So
literally
serious.
took it. I have pictures. I took pictures. And I didn't even send them to anyone. And I,
You
wouldn't
just
put,
needed
I didn't put them
proof.
on social media. I just took pictures of myself at Dave & Buster's.
You high.
Be high like this. I'll show them to you right now.
The flash on, I would love to see them.
I don't give a f.
Play.
I don't give a fuck. I'm obsessed with you at Dave & Buster's, like
God, I love
Girl.
her.
with the flash.
Madonna stuns and new selfie.
Madonna stuns and new selfie. That is ridiculous.
David was like, I thought you were kidding when you said you were going to Dave & Buster's. I said, why would I joke about
He
that?
checks your location, like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
So look straight ahead. You know damn well you didn't have to look like that. She said,
Sometimes I feel like
Look at
maybe you don't have to glue your brows down.
why wouldn't I have to do that?
Because like you just cover it up anyway. Why do you need to do that?
Because I cover it with shadow. Like shadow doesn't go over hair.
Maybe not for you. For me, I'm different. I'm built different.
It's actually, why am I good at symmetry on someone else? On myself, it goes right out the window. Probably because my face is so lopsided.
Maybe consider the canvas.
Look how symmetrical that template is compared to what I normally do on this channel.
That's not symmetrical.
But it for me it is. This is so good for me. This is the shut up, Nick. This is the Beauty Bakery Cake Pop Liner.
Oh,
Love
I
this.
do love Beauty Bakery.
It doesn't dry the matte.
It is not
But it's a great
symmetrical.
felt tip and it has a great long wear. You haven't been on the channel in a while. What brands do you like love?
I'm a Charlotte Tilbury girl. Iconic Nude is my queen, and then I do love the contour shade in like that really light cool tone is like the only contour I can actually use because it's a true contour. It's not like a bronzer.
Yeah, it's like shadowy.
Yeah. And then I do like I've started doing those individual lashes, and I make my own lash, and I put it only on the outer corner of my eye. So I've started to like experiment more with like, making my own pigments and making my own lashes and shit like that.
Girl, I have to wipe off this eyebrow. That is so unacceptable. Look at that. Not even close. Not even close.
And the eyeliners, I mean, I'm gonna trust the process.
I need to talk to your mom because you know I'm really psychic.
Yeah, you need to talk to my fucking mom. Is it numbers? How does it manifest for you?
Touching people. I'm not
Touching,
joking.
Petting, stroking.
I will like touch someone and be like, don't drive later. I'm serious. I am serious. This is not a joke, and I haven't told this story on the channel yet. I got in an Uber the other day. The other day I had a nightmare that I was in a car crash and with someone. I got in the Uber the other day and I went, that is him. That is the guy. And I said, before I got out of the Uber, I said, drive really, really safe today. And I just didn't want to weird him out. But I was like, drive really safe today. But the whole Uber home, I was like, this car's crashing.
What the bitch?
Oh
Like,
my
you need to
God.
go to the doctor and get that mole checked.
No, I'm
You're
Allison
scaring
Dubois.
people.
Do you know who that is?
No.
She is the woman that showed Media.
Wait, she still took the fucking Uber? I would not be taking that Uber.
Is based on?
Oh, period. Wait, Long Island medium?
No, bitch. No, bitch. No, bitch.
Long Island medium?
You and I should go for Halloween. I want to be the Hollywood medium, and you should be the Long Island medium.
Wait,
and we
who's
can be the large mediums.
Who's the little the small, mediums, and larges?
Yeah. What about this
The
drag
gay
name?
guy.
Marge, medium, small.
Marge medium.
Marge, medium, small.
Hello. I'm obsessed with that. It's my favorite thing.
Have you
Hello?
seen this palette? Retro Love. Look
No,
at
who's
these
that by?
cool little retros. Pretty,
Oh,
right?
that is gorge.
Yeah, some good ones in here, right?
Wow.
Yeah, we're not using that. But I thought it was pretty. I'm just gonna do this.
Oh,
I
so
really
the
liked-
same one you used
Yeah, I
in the
really
last
liked
video.
this.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, this is...
I'm just so used to you being a huge bitch to me that at this point, I can never tell if you're kidding.
I was talking to Drew F. Wallow. You know Drew? He's
Yeah,
on
of
her
course.
podcast. And she was like, yeah, girl, Trixie, afterward, like, it was so fun. And she said she felt so comfortable, like, you know, coming out of drag sort of thing and just talking. And afterward, Drew was like, yeah, give me your phone number, whatever. Y'all connected over DM. And then, like, you kept being like, girl, text me. Girl, what's your number? And Drew was like, I have texted you 4 times in a row and you have not responded.
I'm so sorry.
Every single time. And I was like, yeah, that's Trixie.
No, I won't text her months, and then I'll text you and be like, why have you been ignoring me?
You'll be like, are you mad at me?
Drew, I'm sorry. I really love her, and I can't believe that's so embarrassing.
She's so funny. But it was funny because like you would
Oh my
respond to
God.
her on Instagram like, bitch, text me. And she's like, I did.
Well, the thing is, I look at all her posts, I watch all her stories.
She's
so
fantastic.
so I probably respond like, I love you, let's hang out. And she's
Yeah.
probably like, bitch.
Yeah, she's
You know what I
like,
mean?
she's like, if you opened our iMessage, it would be humiliating.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's so funny. I was like, yeah, classic.
Can you tell her sorry? Because I'm not going to call her.
I'm
just kidding.
I'm not gonna text her back.
How embarrassing. But you know, it's hard to... I'm not going to blame drag, but a lot of times I'm in drag, and when you're in drag, you can't see or do anything.
Right.
So sometimes I do get texts and I go, I'll respond later, and then I forget.
The same. I'm so bad about it. Except I'm not in drag.
So you don't really have an excuse, do you?
I just get overstimulated sometimes. I just can't really do it. You know what I discovered recently? I'm a Nightmare Before Christmas adult.
Are you really?
Yeah. Like,
Have
it
you never
sucks.
seen the movie before?
No, I had as a kid, but it scared the out of me. And I recently rewatched it, like 2021. That and The Corpse Bride, and I'm obsessed.
Yeah, I've never seen The Corpse Bride.
I just recently did a YouTube video where I recreated the Corpse Bride makeup, and I actually did a great job.
I thought that's what you were always Go ahead and look up for me.
Hello.
You really have big eyes. Like,
Thank you.
but
I
that's
grew
good,
them
though.
myself.
You can do like any kind of makeup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's
'Cause
what.
her eyes are full, but they're not downturned. They're not hooded. They're just
They're
big
just
eyes.
big circle bug eyes.
Yeah. Do people still say you look like the yellow M&M?
No, I haven't gotten that in a while. But now that you said that, there's probably
I
gonna
stopped
be a
floating that
resurgence.
around. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you look up for me? I'm sorry. We are in the middle of a video. Sorry, did you need to call someone?
I'm just bored. I'm just like on Instagram.
Oh, I know. You're just like, no, I'm not doing anything. I can talk.
No, I'm pulling this up. I did corporate makeup.
That
But
is
look
amazing.
at her. Isn't she?
Yeah.
And
So
like,
good.
Like I really ate.
I remember
feel like I
that.
can't-
I remember that. It was so good.
Everything you do this.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to breathe?
Yeah, you're allowed to do whatever you want, all right? I mean, nobody's holding you here. Like, you kind of doing this pantomime that you, like, don't want to be here when, in fact, you banged on my door all night.
Stop.
What?
Your wig.
Oh, is that from touching the... Can you smooth it? Babe, what do you think of couples who call each other babe?
Love it.
You do?
I think babe's cute.
Babe.
I think baby's cute.
Baby?
Baby. Oh, I need a southern man to call me baby.
You're a southern woman. Do you fancy kind of like settling down like a Sweet Home Alabama situation?
No, but I want my liberal bisexual cowboy. That's what I always say. That's what I see in my future.
Would you have a three-way if you had a bisexual boyfriend, would you have a three-way?
No, he could go and be gay and I would just be like, come home to me.
But he's not gay, he's bi. That's
He's
actually
bi.
like the erasure of bi
No,
people is
he
actually
can
very
go.
serious.
He can go do his gay thing. Like I fully like ally, but then you have got to come home to me.
Like if you were in Brokeback Mountain, it would have been a really boring movie. Because you would have been like, go do it. Suck that on that
Yeah,
mountain.
I'd be like, I'll be in the car.
Yeah. I'll be in the car listening to Taylor.
I'll be in the car waiting.
That's your
Oh my
Brokeback
God.
Mountain Taylor's version.
Yeah.
Who's the celeb? I mean, obviously you love Harry.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who else is the celeb crush right now?
Right now,
You see him on the internet and you stop scrolling and you're like, damn, he's beautiful.
Hosier.
Hosier?
Hosier.
Who's that?
Take me to church.
Oh, that guy, yes.
He's like 6'6" and Irish and just like such an unreal person. Like he is so unbelievably kind.
Mhm.
One thing I love about Hosier is in interviews, he's always plugging like
plugging his phone in?
he's always plugging his phone in. He's always just like charging. He's like really obsessed. No, his whole thing is solidarity costs nothing. You know, like to be and stand with the trodden and the oppressed. Like that is his whole kind of musical platform, and his whole platform is dedicated to that of like Black Lives Matter and sexual assault survivors and women's rights and gay rights, like all of it. Even Take Me to Church is about a gay relationship. You know, like and when
Let's
people found
go.
that out, the moms who listened to it on the radio were devastated. Do you have one?
I mean, mine are really evergreen. I love Paul Rudd.
Oh, I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I love Paul Rudd.
And he has aged like fine wine. He looks the same as he did in Clueless.
Who else? I mean, just athletes. I love it. I hate
That's
to be
so
basic.
fucking
I hate
random.
to be basic. When I'm at the gym or whatever, and they have whatever sports channel on, and they zoom in on like some baseball player, I'm always like, oh my god.
You're
Oh
like,
my God.
he's the one. He's it.
Yes, people who do a competitive sports for a living.
Yeah.
That's a hot thing. Because
Yeah.
there's something hot about competition and athleticism.
But my tea is, what the f are we gonna talk about?
Oh, nothing. But you know what though? These people often are fun to be around because they Could you imagine if this video halted and we just started fucking, I'm talking making out. This
like,
close,
this?
and you're in half dress.
And I'm supposed to not
Yeah. You said,
oh.
and maybe this is stupid, but people who can do something that I 100% cannot do. That's
You
part
like
of the
that?
that's part of the appeal. You know, so I also love actors, singers,
So you love David
drag
because
queens.
he can run a business and you can't.
Totally. Let's do this little white chin here and move on. Today we're turning Buzz Lightyear into
Pamela Anderson.
we're turning Buzz Lightyear into Little Bo Peep. All right, so now it's time to put. Where's my face?
Hello?
Hello. Can I have a sugar-free Red Bull, Brandon?
Can I have those Sour Patch Kids, Brandon?
He hates me. That's kind of hard, I know. We had Jinx on the channel, and she.
That's my favorite clip.
Have you seen her powdering herself?
Yes.
White face, still talking, and
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like,
white face, closed mouth. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. My whole For You page is just clips of you.
you know why? Because it's about volume. If you accidentally watch a Trixie video, guess
God
what?
forbid
I have
you like
5
it.
other YouTube videos that week. So
Mhm.
you have to, if you hate me and you're watching this, you have to start actively downloading.
Not interested.
Yeah. When the channel first started though, we would trend, and of course when random straight people find me, Wakanda!
Yeah. It's a heyday.
But I'm just like, why are you here?
Mm-hmm. They're intrigued.
And I get that, but like I watch so much that I don't like. And I never have like a volatile response to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. Like there's 5 golf channels. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's enough out there that I do not care about that doesn't bother me.
Yeah. No, I'll watch something and like 3/4 of the way through be like, why the f am I watching this?
Yeah.
Especially on TikTok. It's like, I don't care about this.
Well, that's like when we pitched Trixie Motel, and I was like, I was kind of ignorant at the time. I was like, do people really care about renovation?
Oh.
They do.
Oh, honey.
People love renovation television.
Mhm.
There's something
They
about
do.
Reno TV. No matter what's going on in your life, you get to watch something start out shitty and turn out
Mhm.
beautiful.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the fun of makeup videos too. Not that you start out shitty.
Me after I get my BBL.
Oh my god. I started wearing straight leg pants and oversized t-shirts, and
Are
I
you into
couldn't
it?
feel more 18 years old. But you know why that look is really fun when you're young and gorgeous, but I
Yeah.
look out of work.
You look troubled.
I look
A troubled teen. Were you a like pop punk emo kid?
Yeah.
What were you
I mean, I
into?
loved like Green Day and
Yeah.
like American Idiot came out when I was in high school.
Period.
So like it was a big moment.
World Stop.
And because I played guitar, I
Classic.
was a high schooler who like that was really my identity. Is that
Yeah.
I was a guitar player. I was,
Right.
What was your first CD? You're a different age than me. What was your first like?
The first CD I remember having in my possession was "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears.
Oh wow! So you were probably really young.
Yeah, I was like
Same.
6 or 7.
Really?
And I had a little Barbie CD player, and that was the first one in there. And it was with like Kids Bop. And then I also had NSYNC. I had an NSYNC album.
Have you met Lance before?
Yeah, I have.
Super nice. It's so nice to talk to him, and it's weird to connect him to NSYNC. I keep going like, oh,
Yeah.
that's Lance from NSYNC.
No, I have never put that together. I'm just like,
It's-
oh, this nice gay man is so nice.
But like, what's it like to be Lance Bass and bump into like a drunk straight girl?
Right.
Because that type of like core memory kid it elicits a different level of
Yes.
response.
Yes.
Like if I bumped into Mr. Rogers,
Mm-hmm.
I'd f***ing fall out.
Yeah.
But I think he's dead.
Yeah, if I bumped into like the first time I saw Ocean's 11. Do you know this movie?
Is that the one with Sandy Bullock stealing?
Yeah. No, that's Ocean's 8. The original Ocean's 11, well, the original one is like Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack in the 60s, but the remake was in 2001, and it's George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon. That movie, I saw it when I was like 13, changed my f***ing life. It was the first time I was like, men are sexy.
Really?
And it was George Clooney.
I mean, he is gorgeous. The first time I found him gorgeous was, have you seen the Batman movie he's in?
Yes, with the nipples.
Yeah, he's so gorgeous in that. There's a scene with him and he's in like a black turtleneck talking to Alfred who's sick, and I'm like,
there's something about a man in a turtleneck.
yeah, but not everyone. When I do it, I look like f***ing the ghost of Steve Jobs, bitch.
No, I bet you slayed a turtleneck.
No, look up. Well, I try to wear a little hat so I can feel like I'm John Legend or something.
No, you gotta
And then I
take
look
the
like a
hat off.
scarecrow.
Yeah.
There's these things in fashion where you're like, why is it for everyone but me?
I feel the same.
Like all the time, I'm like, I'm gonna get that hat, and then I put it on. It's like, you look like a f***ing coat hanger, bitch. You look like somebody
Why-
threw an outfit on someone.
Yeah, why can't I win?
Why can't I win?
Can I please win?
Do you know the princess from Drag Race? The princess
Life is so unfair.
was on season 4 of Drag Race. She's a attractive, tattooed, bald white guy.
Okay.
And so I follow her Instagram, and I've always loved her personal style out of drag. So when I first shaved my head, I started this is so embarrassing. I started literally looking at pictures of her and using that to gauge whether or not I could wear an outfit. I was like, okay, she looks good in black overalls, so I could probably get black overalls.
You got your
She's for drag, I have Barbie, and then,
she's your body double.
Yeah.
So how long have you been psychic?
I don't know, I had psychic occurrences when I was younger.
But you kind of dismissed it.
I used to have the same dreams as my brother.
What the f is wrong? Why don't you ever talk about this?
Because it kind of scares me sometimes. But also some of my psychicisms, I'm like, oh my God, how did I know that? David's like, because that's memory.
Because you have a terrible
knew that.
memory. Yeah.
So sometimes I know things, forget I know it, and then I think it's a premonition.
Right.
But I'm like, girl, that's my fucking locker combination in high school. Like, that's not psychic. That's information.
Yeah, that's the pin to your fucking debit card, girl.
Yeah.
The shellac on my lid is heavy.
It's
It's
disgusting.
It's disgusting, and I think that you're a little bit of a masochist to do this every fucking day.
Yeah, this much makeup is disgusting.
It's like each blink is slow, and the lash isn't even on yet.
Yeah, it's really horrible. I don't recommend it.
Hello.
What about musical theater? Do you like it?
I used to do it.
You did?
Yes.
And did you like it at the time?
They made me do drag.
No, what
They
did
made me
you do?
cross dress. I never played a woman unless she was an old woman.
Oh, really?
They always put me in a beard and a fucking cape and I was always a man. And I asked my theater director one time, I said, why am I always like an old woman or a man? And he said, well, you're just built like it. And I said,
stop it.
That was my first I have trauma from theater. That was my first.
That's so fucked up. That's so fucking mean, dude. What the fuck?
First instance of it is he literally was like, you're just a hefty woman. Hey, I'm 14, by the way.
Hefty woman.
He called me a hefty woman
Was
and
it a
I'm
gay guy?
14. No, it was a straight guy.
Straight theater teacher, that's
Yeah.
your first problem.
Yeah.
It's like when I was like, why do we always get chorus roles? And they said, because you're not that good.
Yeah, well.
And I was like,
I was like, I never get the lead unless it's funny. And they were like, well, yeah. And I was like, oh, so you don't see me as having any other talent? They were like,
you should have rolled with it. You could have been like, I think next year we should do a musical about a disgusting, horrible pig. Or about a woman who no one likes. And then they could have been like, ooh, this is
they've
you.
been like, we know the exact role for
Yeah,
you.
totally.
You'd love this.
We got to do lips.
This is great.
Yeah, that's
You should do this for a living. This is actually really good Trixie.
Oh my God, I performed at a fundraiser gala the other day. I did a comedy number with my guitar. Somebody came up to me after my number and was like, you should
This could really work out for you.
They were like, there's something there. You should do this. And I was like, really? I don't know.
Do you play into it? Or
Yeah, I just was like, oh, you think? Okay. Because I don't know what to say.
Right.
It's not even don't you know who I am? It's like, do you think I'd be up here in a wig playing a guitar on accident? I stumbled into this. This was a plan. I just thought that was funny.
Oh.
Do you like getting up and going to fancy events like that?
I do. I love it. I hate wearing Spanx, but
We
great.
should go to some stuff together.
I would. Yeah.
Me
Hey,
and
text
Orville.
me back.
Oh yeah, I'll text Drew first, and then I'll get you. We're doing a lovely little lip.
I think you should just leave it like that.
Just the bottom lip. Oh, is that me up close? Reba. You know what? People act like Reba has zero upper lip. That is slanderous.
Here's your one chance, fans. You don't let me down.
This is those NYX lip lingerie things. I love them. They're so good. These lovely cream colors.
Hello.
So are we filming?
Yeah.
So this eyeball is watery. So focus on this beautiful side. Don't look over here.
It's because she did this fun thing where when she was putting the white on, she put it directly into my eye 6 different times and stroked it up in there, made sure it got in the waterline real good. And so now it won't stop watering.
I know it's probably hard for you to experience adversity for the first time. So we're gonna go put on some lashes, some wig, and we'll be back. Ba-bum! And we have the finished look. I would say I like this makeup on you more than the last time, so.
And
Let's go.
given the trials and tribulations we went through to get here, I think it turned out just fine.
Is this falling off? Lady Bunny, are you okay?
If I were to tip my head back, this coming off.
Okay, well, let's go. We're gonna get out of frame here. Thank you for having me on. Oh my God. We're gonna stop doing the video now. Thank you for coming on the channel again, Brittany.
I love you so much.
Brittany's channel, check it out on YouTube right here. It is one of my favorite channels.
Thank you so much.
And I
I
love you
did
so
pay her
much.
to say that I love you too. Thanks for doing this again. This is so sweet.
I booked you for a DJ gig at the Abbey, so let's go. Come on.
All right, we're late.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cuties.
Run.
Okie dokie, that's gonna be all for this. Y'all for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you for follows, and I will be back tomorrow for a video as Sunday. There's so many things. I hope to have a good water and take care of yourself.
We aren't better because we want to be. Because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because all the do-gooders in the world, whether they're doing good for others or doing it for themselves, are troublemakers. Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, said, the highest virtue is not virtue, and therefore really is virtue. But inferior virtue cannot let go of being virtue, and therefore is not virtue. All the do-gooders in the world, whether they're doing good for others or doing it for themselves, are troublemakers. We aren't better because we want to be.
You said some things you didn't mean. I'm sure I did that too. Oh, baby. Egos clashing, dreams crashing. Whatever happened to me and you? From lovers to strangers. When everything changes. Oh, baby. When we tear out the pages. And only one word is left. Please let's just be quiet until the next riot. Just give us some time for the wounds to heal. What is broken is broken. Let's just leave it for now. We need some perspective just to understand how